Oke guys, oke guys. Oke, sekarang sorry guys, gue baru on ya. Oke, gue belum lihat RRQ melawan ini, melawan apa namanya? Siapa gue lupa namanya tadi.
Visiting our region. Nice to meet you
Kita
guys.
di server Inggris ya. Jadi ya, lebih enak guys.
And I'm Barbie. Nice to meet you as well. And I'm ready to cast. These two games is going to be especially the second one.
Yeah, the second one indeed.
Mantap guys, di sini RRQ EVOS. Aduh, nggak bisa jadi ini ya. RRQ EVOS lawan tim siapa nih? Lilgun. Oh, itu tim RRQ lawan tim Lilgun dulu guys.
Two things, right? Either see you soon. They came in like 7.
Oke. Langsung aja dulu ya guys ya. Dari Lilgun ada beheq, setan, alizan, exaura, forbid. Nah, terus kasih ada Jena, si Jena Andre, Skylar atau Stephen Cole, Tendian, ada Okta, ada Irat, ada Brusco. Ini guys,
qualifier stage. We see a lot of Aurora being picked up, Nana, things of that nature. It's been picked up. Be jumping.
Skill ult and let's are not.
Maybe it's the bin. Gonna start seeing Team Lilgun group.
See, maybe the personal skills are that high that we're picking Vixana like first 2 picks.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, seeing the way this is gonna go,
skill ult and
when it comes to these neutral objectives, he's not the easiest to kind of invade. Maybe it's the bin, especially start seeing Team Lilgun buff. Like you said, stacked up with the Estus is going to make him even stronger in terms of the heals. And the later this goes, if Estus doesn't fall, he'll be able to get those heals even better as we get to that mid to late game and pretty much make Barats unkillable. Now, we didn't see a lot of early game damage, though, from the side of RQ Hoshi. And that's the only thing that I'm kind of concerned about as this is going to go on. Yes, they do have the Claude. I mean, the later this goes, you can pick up something like that Demon Hunter Sword, maybe a Golden Staff, and be able to rush in and deal the damage necessary to take down the Barats. But maybe that's the game plan with them. Or, maybe it's the Benedetta. It can definitely rush in with the Electro Final Blow. Whereas Barats is not the most mobile hero. But it's definitely going to be a challenge to see which way this kind of plays out. There are 2 bullies in the jungle, though. We're looking at a Fredrin going up against the Barats.
Yeah, I think the Barats going to have an upper hand in this matchup because and then
we go best of all the way out from Indonesia. Team Lilgun. Into the land of dawn we go. Best of 3. Who will be able to make it out of group stage A?
So we're jumping right into the action here. The level 4 is being farmed, or almost being farmed. We're gonna see the first engagement in Turtle, I guess, in a second.
Yeah, going to be looking out for that engagement. On the top side, though, we are looking at a lot of marksmen, but look at a battle in the mid-river already. First Blood Zara able to pick it up. That was within the first 2 minutes, and they didn't just take down anybody. They took down
yeah, he kind of like went 1 versus 3 he went. It's so, and the Electro Final Blow with the Butterfly on side, trying to steal the Turtle, and the Turtle being farmed still by the Retribution on the Barats, and trying to kill, clean up the kills, and Choice dies as well, and the Rough
Yeah, rough start, down by 1 kill, not able to take the first neutral objective. Is going to put him slightly behind 500 gold. That kind of plays out. That total will have a massive XP boost, but there's a lot of mobility. I mean, you're already seeing the Benedetta trying to out-rotate on the CC in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's what she should do. She should skip like the wave and pressure the mid lane or the jungle. If it's not happening, RQ Hoshi is going to have a problem because, as you said, it's mobility hero should take advantage.
Speaking of rotations, a couple items showcasing. You are going to see that elegant gem picked up from this Novaria. We mentioned though, who's going to be the one to kind of deal the damage to the Brats, especially in the early phase. We feel like that's kind of lacking for the side of RQ Hoshi right now, and it kind of is painting the story how they're not able to take that first objective. If they don't find a way to take down the Barats and the Estes, this is going to be dangerous because they're only going to get beefier. Those heals are only going to get stronger. And pretty much going to be unkillable until they can get Skylar on point to be able to burst him down.
Absolutely agree, and it's like going just like I think it would go. RQ Hoshi need to stop this snowball because it's going to continue when the Estes gonna have his ultimate, and he does. And now I guess Team Lilgun going to try to take some objective, and they trying to force some fights now, and the fights is heavily in favor of Team Lilgun because RQ Hoshi just like you said, had no damage.
Yeah, they weren't able to take the first neutral objective, but the second one 4 seconds away from spawning in. Can RQ Hoshi even out the odds? Are we going to start seeing Team Lilgun form up this snowball that War Barbie was talking about? Brat's able to get a kill and also able to get that first turtle, pulling the objective and aggro from the turtle, getting ready for this engagement. As you are going to see a big knock up to Jinkundo in the way of the dragon. Just Saint's going to take the first neutral objective. Is going to put him slightly behind 500 gold. You have to see how that kind of plays out. With that turtle, we'll have a massive XP boost, but there's a lot of mobility. I mean, you're already seeing the Benedetta trying to out-rotate on the CC in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's what she should do. She should skip like the wave and pressure the mid lane or the jungle. If it's not happening, RQ is going to have a problem because, as you said, it's mobility hero should take advantage of rotation.
Yeah, and speaking of rotations, a couple items showcasing. You are going to see that elegant gem Novaria. We mentioned though, who's going to be the one to kind of deal the damage to the Brats, especially in the early phase. We feel like that's kind of lacking for the side of RQ Hoshi right now, and it kind of is painting the story how they're not able to take that first neutral. If they don't find a way to take down the Barats and the Estes, this is going to be dangerous because they're only going to get beefier. Those heals are only going to get stronger, and pretty much going to be unkillable until they can get Skylar on point to be able to burst him down.
Absolutely agree, and it's like going just like I think it would go. RQ Hoshi need to stop this snowball because it's going to continue. The Estes gonna have his ultimate, and he does. And now I guess Team Lilgun going to try to take some objective, and they trying to force some fights now, and the fights is heavily in favor of Team Lilgun because RQ Hoshi, just like you said, have no damage.
Yeah, they weren't able to take the first neutral objective. The second one 4 seconds away from spawning in. Can RQ Hoshi even out the odds? Are we going to start seeing Team Lilgun form up this snowball that War Barbie was talking about? Brat's able to get a kill and also able to get that first turtle, pulling the objective and aggro from the turtle, getting ready for this engagement. As you are going to see a big knock up to Jinkundo in the way of the dragon. Trying to run away. Zara is going to take down Jesse though. 1 minute falling for the side and 1 for RQ Hoshi. Alright, we'll find a kill. Is going to take down Aizen. That's going to be 1 for 2. Oh, make that 1 for 3.
Sure, there's a flicker.
Should be able to should be able to take this objective. Had a little bit of a slight connection issue. My bad, War Barbie. But as we are jumping into this 4-3, that looks like RQ Hoshi was able to take that turtle. So now, oh no. Did they take the turtle or did they lose it?
Super good initiation with the Cho with the flicker on the Estes and the follow-up with Benedetta on the 4 people elect the final blow with the pressure fighter.
Oh, thank you. Terus nyalanginnya nggak bisa bujir. Gimana ini?
Bursting down the targets and
Sebentar guys. Ini gue lagi coba hilangin. Kok kesini sih? Guys, ternyata mana sih? Ini kita ke HD ya, 1440 deh. Biar enak deh, ya enggak? Gak kok, atas sampai mana, Cok? Astaga, kepencet ya. Astaga, kepencet, guys.
Trying to possibly proxy it as well. And look at the bullying
Tadi
from
sampai mana
Zara
ya?
on this
Tadi nggak tahu aja guys ya.
zone out Irad from his RQ hitter. They could provide some late game damage.
People petrify again.
Wah, ini udah berat banget, guys.
He gets
Nah, tadi mau dibawa sini nih.
Pick it up. That was within the first 2 minutes, and
they
they just take down anybody. They took down the jungler from RQ,
he
which
kind
means
of
they
like
won't
went
have the retribution.
1 versus 3 he went. It's solo and electrify with the petrify on side, trying to steal the turtle, and the turtle being farmed still by the retribution on the side, trying to clean up the kill.
As we get to that mid to late game, you're gonna have to see how that kind of plays out. This is gonna be dangerous because they're only gonna get beefier. Those heals are only gonna get stronger, and pretty much gonna be unkillable until they can get Skylar on point to be able to burst him down.
Absolutely. And, it's like going just like I think it would go. The RQ Hoshi need to stop this snowball because it's going to continue when the Estes gonna have his ultimate, and he does. And now I guess Team Lilgun going to try to take some objective, and they trying to force some fights now, and the fights is heavily in favor of Team Lilgun because RQ Hoshi, just like you said, have no damage.
Yeah, they weren't able to take the first neutral objective, but the second one 4 seconds away from spawning in. Can RQ Hoshi even out the odds? Are we going to start seeing Team Lilgun form up the snowball that War Barbie was talking about? Brat's able to get a kill and also able to get that first turtle, pulling the objective and aggro from the turtle, getting ready for this engagement. As you are going to see a big knock up to Jean Kondo in the way of the dragon. Just Satan's going to take down 4-bit with the electro final blow. Blaze duet from Skylar into the back lane, find Easton. Trying to run away. Zara is going to take down Jesse, though. One member falling for the side of Team Lilgun and one from RQ Hoshi. Irad will find a kill. Is going to take down Aizen. That's going to be 1 for 2. Oh, make that 1 for 3.
Pretty good job with the flicker. First skill
to find their
initiating right.
Should be able to take this.
Yes, sorry. Go on.
Ooh, should be able to take this objective. Had a little bit of a slight connection issue. My bad, War Barbie. But as we are jumping into this 4-3. That looks like RQ Hoshi was able to take that turtle. So now, oh no, did they take the turtle or did they lose it?
Yeah, the super good initiation with the Cho with the flicker on the Estes and the follow-up with the Benedetta on the 4 people electro final blow with the Petrify bursting down the targets, and RQ Hoshi winning the fight because of the Cho initiation, and he get wrecked because of it now, I guess.
Ooh, and you are seeing some heavy focus from the side of Team Lilgun. 4-man rotation, trying to get to the side lane, trying to possibly proxy it as well. And look at the bullying from Zara on this Barrettes, trying to zone out Irad from his farm.
They should do. Take some objectives now, and the ultimate is being popped by the Estes, and 4 people being healed, but no pressure. I mean, there is some pressure on the tower, but not enough to fall down.
Yeah, not enough to fall down. Still hanging on by about 25% HP. 2,000 gold lead for Team Lilgun right now. And then they're having a pretty good game. Maybe be able to take one of these turrets, but their bot side is hanging on pretty low too.
Yeah, but the counter pressure is there. Chu is going up on the bot lane, on the X plane, and the Claude is farming pretty good actually. Like RQ last fight on the turtle is super good. I didn't expect that. Kinda should take Purify probably on the Estes, and this flicker might be a problem later in the game because of the super good initiations on the show.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to watch out. Without having that Purify, is gonna be easily some CC if you're not careful. He's gonna go ahead and take that turret on the top side. Turret has spawned in. Both sides able to claim one, but who will be able to take this next objective? You're already seeing Team Lilgun in position to be able to hit the retribution.
Yeah, they kinda, but Chu is already can. Oh, 4 people petrify again with electro final blow follow up. Every bit of damage they have, but not enough.
Yeah, just showcasing his mastery of that show, but it looks like RQ Hoshi able to take this turtle in their hands. We'll get that XP boost they were looking for. Slowly starting to try and equalize this economy. They are down by about 1,000 gold. But that's just telling half of the story. As both these teams fighting out early aggression, 5-4 already on the scoreboard. And it's just a battle back and forth. I wouldn't say this is really a one-sided story, but a siege for the tier 1 turret is on the way.
Yeah, they should take the tier 1 turret. They should take all of the tier 1 turrets. Team Lilgun, I mean, they need to use all of the stronger parts of the Estes, which is his ultimate, to pressure all of first turrets and second turrets, and you kind of don't want to go to the super late game here because of Lavaria and the Claude and the electro final blow, and I mean RQ Hoshi in the late game seems super strong. Oh, the attempt of the taking on a blue buff here from Frederick.
Yeah, we are going to see a turret fall for both sides, both tier 1s on opposite lanes, which means these teams are still pretty even. Honestly, even though they don't have the late game or early game damage to be able to burst down the Barats, RQ Hoshi still doing pretty decent on making this an even match. And if they can hold off long enough, like you mentioned, the late game is going to be a problem. They'll be able to kind of take down Zara and Ethan, especially with Ethan not having a Purify. We'll be able to kind of be hit with the way the Dragon from Bruce, who's been rotating around really well with this show. You already see the showcase right there. High mobility team so far for the composition of RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, the RQ Hoshi have the initiation. They have the show. They have, I mean, sometimes Benedetta can initiate even, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to initiate and make a kill, and it will eventually work. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, tier 1. Skylar will find one off screen though on the top side. Bebex is going to clear the bot. An objective going to both teams so far. Lord has spawned in and aggro has been pulled. And it looks like Team Lilgun may go for this objective. Are going to shift focus to the mid lane though, as they almost lost their tier 1 turret.
I mean, I guess all the all turrets are not gonna fall if the Lord is taken here. I mean, at least 3 of them, my guess.
Yeah, both teams getting ready to fight it out. Lord at about 25% HP. Look at Cho. And not able to get the knockout. Claiming for RQ Hoshi. Speedy Light Wheel's going down. Ethan takes down goes Cho, but they got what they came for.
Of the taken on a blue buff here from Fred.
Yeah, we are going to see a turret fall for both sides. Both tier 1s on opposite lanes, which means these teams are still pretty even. Honestly, even though they don't have the late game or early game damage to be able to burst down the Barats, RQ Hoshi still doing pretty decent on making this an even match. And if they can hold off long enough, like you mentioned, the late game is going to be a problem. They'll be able to kind of take down Zara and Ethan, especially with Ethan not having a Purify. We'll be able to kind of be hit with the way the Dragon from Bruce, who's been rotating around really well with this show. You already see the showcase right there. High mobility team so far for the composition of RQ.
Yeah, the RQ Hoshi have the initiation. They have the show. They have, I mean, sometimes Benedetta can initiate even, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to initiate and make a kill, and it will eventually work. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and you've seen the Electrophonic blow, possibly will find one off screen though on the top side. Bebex is going to clear the bot one. An objective going to both teams so far. Lord has spawned in and aggro has been pulled. And it looks like Team Lilgun may go for this objective. Are going to shift focus to the mid lane though, as they almost lost their tier 1 turret.
I mean, I guess all turrets are not gonna fall if the Lord is taken here. I mean, at least 3 of them, my guess.
Yeah, both teams. Oh, yang open tuh si Chow ya. 25% HP. Look at Cho with the concealed play. And not able to get the knockup. Irab with the retribution though. We'll claim it for RQ Hoshi. Takes down Brisker. Down goes Cho. Now they need to get out of the Lord pit. Oh, but it looks like Irad trapped. Hit with the Appraiser's Wrath. Yeah, Skylar. Duet from Skylar. Full team of Team Lilgun. not able to draw a kill, and both sides will disengage, but the Lord goes to RQ Hoshi.
Wow, the Chu eventually did enough. He went in and Barats used his ultimate on the Chu, but missed the smite though, and Chu kinda interrupted him. So that's kinda cool. I guess he's was trying to use the Way of the Dragon on the Barats to not let him retribution, but this kind of initiation was still enough.
Ooh, look at the positioning from Genesis Saints right there. I'm going and hide in that bush on that purple buff. They did trade though, even though they RQ Hoshi got that Lord. Team Lilgun was able to clear that tier 1 turret in the mid lane, which is I would say a fair enough trade. As long as they can kind of defend this Lord, they don't lose much from that engagement, but they open up the opportunity to invade. But speaking of invasion, a little bit too overextended, and Bruce getting caught in a lot of CC, may not be able to get out of there as Ain's on the chase, able to shut him down with the power of CC from the XP lane. Big Astro Echo going out, 4 members caught with it, actually full 5-man caught with that tier 2 turret top side. May drop if they're not careful.
Yeah, I think RQ Hoshi are in position they wanna be, because they have these Novaria, Benedetta and Claude, which is like super high mobility heroes who can clear the lanes. So Team Lilgun are
mobilitasnya naik
be
ke bawah
5 people stacked up. One on top of another, and RQ Hoshi are going to split push them, in my opinion, because of the mobility heroes, and now is the stage when they gonna shine.
Yeah, and you are going to already see a 4-kill lead for the side of Team Lilgun, down by 1,000 gold. You are looking at RQ Hoshi leading by 1 turret as well, but still overall a pretty close game. Now at that 12-minute mark, you are seeing some of the items being populated on the screen so far. Corrosion Scythe from the Claude alongside the Demon Hunter Sword and the Golden Staff. Just picked up the Windtalker. Definitely getting to that late game needed to kind of burst down this Barats.
Kalau gua ketiduran,
yeah, surely they're gonna try to burst Barats, but I think this this start of the fight when Chu just ulting the Estes or the Vixana probably is going to RQ Hoshi going to try to start this way fight to burst down fast one target and then like kind of 5 versus 4 slowly grinding another.
And you see both teams getting ready. Lord is going to spawn in again. Last one went to RQ Hoshi. Can Team Lilgun defend this and take this objective? If not, RQ Hoshi may be able to start working on opening up their base and taking some of the inhibitors. You are seeing both teams trying to pull the aggro. Big knockup. Denton is welcome. Connected. Zara with the set. Couple of knockups on the way. G-Kondo rushing in. But he ran with the Lord again for RQ Hoshi. Retry finger gods. Skylar is going to take down the Grat. Zara will fall. You're going to take down Ethan. You're going to find another member falling as Octa takes down Eisen. 3 members down for Team Lilgun. Still rushing in, trying to get the game ender. Trying to close this out. They did take out that Lord. May be able to do it as down goes the tier 2 turret for the mid lane.
Whew, what a fight. Chu again used Flicker and the ultimate, but this time on the carry, and the Purify worked super good for carry, but it wasn't still like not there. I guess carry is building like tanky items right now, and there is like no actual damage here because like it's not enough. She should like one-shot people, but not working out.
Yeah, you're going to go ahead and see Team Lilgun now forced in their base. Both teams trying to fight it out. Will RQ Hoshi be able to take this one? Team Lilgun trying to hold him off, trying to stop this Lord from making his way into the base. This is Luminous, though. Scarlard able to take the inhibitor on the top side. 1 more turret to go for a possible game ender in game 1 of Group Stage A.
Yeah, it's there are chances, but this is the point when actually Team Lilgun is like can't be split pushed at the base. So maybe if they hold up for like some extra 3-4 minutes, maybe they're gonna farm some damage. I mean, they need to start bursting down someone.
Yeah, you are gonna go ahead and see RQ Hoshi versus Team Lilgun so far working in RQ Hoshi's favor. A lot of the items are showcasing on the board so far. Anti-heal picked up from the Navaria, trying to find a way to counter this Estes. You are looking at Cho picking up the Dominance Ice. Everybody having some anti-hail for the most part, and doing a really good job on their itemization. Team Lilgun doesn't really have too many chances to be able to hold them off. They're going to definitely have to try and fight for this next neutral objective, because if RQ Hoshi can take this Luminous Lord, could be a possible game ender.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's going to be really hard to come back for Team Lilgun from here, because, like, you know, every fight Claude has this ability to like ult in the late stages of the fight, which you don't want to be happening every single time, because like Benedetta starts damaging people, Navaria damaging people, and only then Cloud is jumping in to like kind of finish all of them off. You don't want to see this, because it's pretty hard to defend.
Yeah, you are going to go ahead and see both teams getting ready for this next neutral objective. Luminous Lord will spawn in the next 4 seconds. And we were able to see RQ Hoshi, for the most part, take this with little to no problem. Able to win these 5v5 engagements, but it looks like Team Lilgun is going to try and contest this. They know everything is on the line right here, and they need this objective in order to turn this game on the backside.
Meanwhile, Third Lord is going in. It's not like Luminous Lord, like level 3 Lord. Oh, and again, Flicker and the Veil the Dragon used on the CC. Immediately Vengeance popped out and going back to disengage.
Yeah, a little bit of a disengage. RQ Hoshi, Team Lilgun, getting ready for this battle. 50% HP for the Lord. But on the top side, Benedetta doing a real good job of splitting these lanes. It's going to force them to push off. You are going to see the Vexana go back to try and clear these minions, which will open up the opportunity in terms of numbers for RQ Hoshi, as the Lord is very low. Zara may be able to get the Retribution. Ooh. Able to take it for Team Lilgun. First Lord of the day for them. And Mortality has been proc. Blazing Duet from Skylar into Zara, into the full 5-man team of Team Lilgun. Octa able to take down Zara. One member will fall. Like to find a blow going down. Jenna Saint with a huge play. What a turnaround, Team Lilgun.
Didn't went for the finish up. Wow, such a good fight. But I guess like RQ Hoshi should went for the kills, I think, and super good. Like Benedetta went for like 2 people at the end, but didn't quite finish them off, and just safely went back, because there's a Lord to death on top of that. Just look at that freeze from the Estes, completely dodging all of the damage from the Claude, make him survive of this. I wonder if Claude build anti-heal here.
Yeah, that's definitely something I'm wondering as well, as you are going to go ahead and see a possible siege for the base. The turnaround from Team Lilgun, a love set on the way, but you are going to see the Astro Echo go out. They are going to disengage, not going to go in for that inhibitor turret, but now this is an even game. Anybody can take this match.
Yeah, that's Lord. They always go in for this 50-50 Lord. I don't know. Why don't just they fight on the full HP, kind of trying to get 1-2 person and then kind of bait Lord and attack the team, instead of going of this like 50-50 retribution every time.
Yeah, you know, but they do have the Benedetta and like I said, they have a lot of mobility for the side of RQ Hoshi, so they can split push. It was the right idea, but they were not able to get Zara away from that Lord. We talked about his sustainability, especially running this Barats. You're looking at him very heavy with the Guardian Helmet, the Anti-Cuirass, the Athena Shield, and the Dominance Ice to be able to protect himself. And then Estes, to keep him alive, has those additional healing effects from the Flask of Oasis to top that off, and it has been a problem. I mean, they don't really have anybody to kind of push him back. They have Irad on this Fredrin to be able to get the knockup and an Energy Eruption for a possible stun, but Zara pretty much has free range when it comes to kind of being that bully inside of these neutral zones.
Yeah, it's working out, but what you can see, like the classics is like the pop train strategy versus split push strategy. Like these are the classics of the all MOBA, I guess. The pop train versus the split push.
Yeah, now you're gonna go ahead and see both teams getting ready again for the next neutral objective. I wonder who will be able to take this one. This may actually be the possible game ender. We're now sitting at 20 minutes This is officially the late game. This is longer than what we typically see even on the North American scene. Most of our matches are like 14, 15 minutes, with some of the long ones going past the 20-minute mark. Everybody full game build with that late damage. RQ Hoshi, Team Lilgun. Both of these teams need this match. This is a best of 3, and this will definitely give them a huge advantage for a possible sweep as the Luminous Lord spawns in.
Yeah, I agree with this one, and I kind of thinking that Fredrin is not fit very good in the RQ Hoshi team composition. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think the composition is definitely interesting. I mean, I feel like it's kind of working out for both sides, though. Like I said, it's not really a one-sided story. I would have expected the Barats to have had a little bit more pressure in the early phase, but it looks like RQ Hoshi was able to make up with their macro and their micro. With the Lord spawned in, though, 50% HP, you are going to see Irad pulling the aggro. Some good split pushing from Genesante, though, on the bot side, running this Benedetta. You see him kind of camping on that purple buff, waiting for the opportunity to kind of split this lane, and maybe an actual backdoor play if Team Lilgun is not careful.
Oh, the Benedetta might go for the draw. No. It's just a bait. She's just waiting. And yeah, RQ Hoshi are doing the absolutely right thing, because you don't want to engage 5 versus 5 like straight up bold fight. You want to like kind of split them up a little bit to make this like quick attack with the Chu and the Flicker, or Benedetta elect the final blow with Petrify.
Yeah, with the floor spawned in, Irad again pulling the aggro, trying to bait Team Lilgun to take this engagement. A little bit of a knock-up though. Zara taking the fight. Very low though. Massive damage to Skylar, take him down. Big play, as they won't have the retribution to be able to contest this Lord. RQ Hoshi though may go in for the fight, but look at the Benedetta on the base. May go for the back door. Skylight trying to hold him from getting back. Not going to allow nobody to recall. Benedetta now on the base. Crystal dealing some massive damage. 15%. 5. RQ Hoshi backdoors Team Lilgun for game 1 in our best of 3. One step closer to making it out of the group stage.
Oh man, this is experience. This is experience. Like, what can I say? This is just an experienced game, because I think the mistake on the Team Lilgun was that they should have so much more with the Estes and Barats combo early game, like level 4 plus. They should force the objective so much more aggressively, and take all first turrets and go on to take in second turrets. Just like I said, like they want to like 6 to 8 minutes into the game have solid gold lead, but more importantly map control, and what you wanna hold RQ Hoshi on at the base and trying to pressure this third tower, and that's how you win with Barats. You can't just like casually walk in like this. Okay, will a little bit damage of tower here, a little bit damage tower there. No, you need to rush, because late game it's not gonna work.
Yeah, Genesante, definitely credits to him, rotating around, getting that backdoor play. We were kind of watching him, oftentimes just hiding in that purple buff bush and waiting for the opportunity to force somebody to split off these Lords. And when they didn't split, hey, he just went straight to the heart of the game, shut down that base Crystal. Now, not the easiest thing to pull off. You usually see a marksman kind of go for the backdoor play. But we talked about the mobility that he provided to the team with the Benedetta, and not something I really see in NA be kind of slotted in. And it's interesting seeing as meta's shifting in Indonesia, pulling out some tricks from their bag, able to get it. That is game number 1, though, for the side of RQ Hoshi, one step closer. Like we said, this is a best of 3, and there is still a chance for Team Lilgun to turn this around. But I do agree with you. The Barats, when there was no early game damage, I would have liked to see them kind of dominate a little bit more of that early phase, but we just really didn't get to see that. And I think maybe it's just from Genesante opening up these opportunities with the split push and mobility.
And I don't know, is it just me, but I didn't quite saw the Vexana here. It's not was not that big here. I would love to see the stats of this game, how much damage did she dealt, and but yeah, Team Lilgun need to play like faster phase, like more aggressive pressure with this kind of comp, and it might work. But if they should understand, if they go to like 15 16 minutes into the game and with no lead, they're gonna lose. Most likely they're gonna lose. Because it's just, the damage is just overwhelming. It's just, Claude is insanely high damage output.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Skylar did a really good job rotating around, getting to the back lane. Almost every single time you'd see him pop that BMI and use that Blazing Duet and hit pretty much the full team of Lilgun on those 5v5 engagements. And that's what really opened up the opportunity. It was kind of zoning them out from even being able to push these Lords. And definitely some good rotation. Between Skylar and Genesante, both side laners definitely doing an excellent job. I would say, though, hopefully for Team Lilgun in Game 2, we see a little bit of a stronger pressure in the early phase. It wasn't too one-sided, though. I would say it was kind of even up into a couple of these Lords. As we are now panning over to some of the highlights that made this story. Zara able to take that first turtle. You are seeing the second turtle on the way. The engagement. Genesante, just speaking about him, able to find forward. Blazing Duet from Skylar, the other side laner. Zara taking out Genesante. Skylar providing some massive damage with the Blazing Duet. Battle over the third turtle. Skylar taking down Ethan. 4-3 though, like we said, not the highest kill game, and pretty even with across the board in terms of kills. You are seeing some massive CC though. Fourth turtle popping up on the scoreboard so far. Like to find a blow going in, and Erad able to claim it. A lot of these objectives were going to the side of RQ Hoshi though the later this game went. As you've seen Erad starting to kind of rack these up with the retribution. Ethan taking down Burst right there, who also had a really good game, rotating around and had some big G condos, knocking up 3 members from the side of Team Lilgun. Blazing Duet from Skylar again. Full man, able to connect to 4 members from the side.
He's just stacking damage, like, you know, to be in the top of the stats. But yeah, I just was thinking about the Lords. 2 of them was taken by the Lilgun, but they actually couldn't make anything good off of them. And like, this is my point is, why would you risk to take the Lord and 2 people from your team is dead and now you cannot use the Lord? Like, why are you going for it? Just go for the kills. Try to kill, prioritize the heroes instead of prioritizing Lord. It's not gonna give you anything.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of those battles on the way, the immortality being procced, both sides fighting it out. But again, this is where you start to see the side of RQ Hoshi take the advantage. Big play over there from Genesante with the electro final blow. Skylar taking down Zara, especially here, taking down the jungler super early before even going for this Lord, opening up the opportunity for a possible take, but they don't even go for it. There goes Genesante with the excellent macro, excellent micro, the backdoor play to close out game 1.
Yeah, but you know, I'm thinking that even if he didn't backdoor the crystal here, they still was like 5 versus 3, and they would overwhelm. RQ Hoshi would overwhelm probably with just the regular minions, even without Lord.
Yeah, and speaking of RQ Hoshi, there goes the MVP himself, Skylar. KDA 304, 36% damage dealt, 15,000 gold per minute. That's a little high. But definitely was leading the way in this game. And that only paints half the story. His execution on the BMIs and the Blazing Duet really kind of made the difference in a lot of these neutral engagement fights.
that's not a lot. It's like impossible high. Imagine like 15k gold per minute. Game would end it probably in like 5 minutes. But yeah, I would like to take a to give a credit on Skylar, because not every time you can see the Claude who's actually start to play from like early game, because he's pretty much rotated from the gold lane to the bot lane to finish up Estes. Like, where can you see this? Because Claude is kind of useless until he get like Demon Hunter Sword and the golden staff. But this Claude is probably like ganking up with just a boot. And it's enough for him, works for him.
Well, if he was getting 15,000 gold per minute, I think he would have had full build in like 2 minutes. But that was overall, guys. That wasn't the that wasn't gold per minute.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we just had fun.
Yeah, that was definitely funny though to be able to see that. Really, just a good game. I want to see how Team Lilgun kind of responds to this. Like we said, we don't want to see one-sided stories or see these sweeps. This is Group Stage A though. Not every team is going to make it out. One team will fall out of games of future before we progress on to the next phase. So Team Lilgun's definitely going to have to step up their energy for round 2 if they want to have a chance to compete in here, because now they're sitting at match point for RQ Hoshi for a chance for a sweep.
Yeah, you know, in my opinion, for now, from analysis from game 1, I would say that draft doesn't matter at this point, because RRQ Hoshi seems like to play much more faster game. They are one like class above Team Lilgun, and when this happened, draft is not that big of a deal. It seemed like Team Lilgun are hesitating with their decisions. They like not going all in or not going all the way back, which is RRQ. They committed to one decision. They like go all in this decision. They not double thinking because it's too slow. They just doing and then retreating, just going in, going out, and Lilgun are like kind of, should we go? No, we shouldn't go. And this is like not gonna work. They need to switch this particular thing to match up RRQ Hoshi tempo, and then the draft going to matter. But at this point, RRQ can draft anything they want.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, when we were looking at Team Lilgun in the beginning for the first turtle, they were able to kind of take it, and I thought they were going to be online to be able to keep pushing forward and have full control of the early game. But like you said, not being able to make a concise decision between the entire team kind of costed them on a lot of these neutral engagements, as you are seeing again, Skylar with a strong presence inside of that gold lane. But also, I want to paint some picture into Genesante, right? The dude was a menace with the Benedetta in those rotations. Had a really good match. But we also got to look at the mid lane, right? They had the Navaria, who doesn't really often get that much credit. But when you use those Astro Echoes to slow down the entire team, it does have such a strong impact. Even though he's not getting the kills, he's racking up those assists and also making it easier to be able to take down the members of Team Lilgun, which was giving them a hard time pushing into these neutral objectives, especially with the Barats, who's kind of frontline heavy, who has to kind of rush in before the team. And oftentimes, you were seeing him get bursted down first inside of these Lord fights, especially with Skylar getting all that gold and getting those core items nice and early to be able to deal that massive damage output.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. And you know, the Novaria ult shines even more when she ult and immediately team follow up with the initiation. And they are using this information right away, and that's how it should be played.
Yeah, definitely should be played. And like you said, a couple of things have to change for game number 2 if Team Lilgun wants to have a chance to stay in here. Number 1, have a stronger early game presence, right? Try and focus on making RQ Hoshi uncomfortable. You see, once they find their groove, once they find their rhythm, they're very hard to stop. It started being more of a one-sided story when RQ Hoshi was able to kind of zone out these neutral objectives. Number 2, stop the side lanes. Find a way to disrupt Skylar's synergy. Try and stop him from getting a lot of gold, especially early in the game, to deal that massive damage. Maybe going and getting a gank, trading a turtle possibly for a kill in the gold lane could delay that from even happening. But then also in the XP lane, find a way to rotate with Genesante. Either have a high mobility XP laner that can keep up with him, or be a lane bully to force him to not moving out of that lane.
Yeah, a lot of things might work for the team. I feel like if the Team Lilgun picks something else, not Vixana, but more like constantly damaging hero, maybe Lunox, like, I don't know, maybe. But Vixana seems like a support hero, but Lilgun was lacking damage a little bit, so they should probably have something like Aurora, Lunox, like some steady damage. It felt like they might be able to kind of counter-attack more, because even though Team Lilgun had this team composition, 5 people, like super strong tanky setup, RQ Hoshi still initiate on them with the Cho or with the Alecto Final Blow Petrify and the Novaria ult combo, and they being bullied. but they the one who should bully, so that's kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah, and we want to see kind of how this kind of plays into game number 2, right? Like we said, this is a best of 3, so there's a possibility for that sweep out there, especially for the first series of the day. That's a bold statement from the side of RQ Hoshi if they can pull that off, and I expect them to be even more aggressive jumping into this game. I mean, there's a lot of things that they did right there. Their early game, they lost the first neutral objective, didn't get that turtle, but they're able to make up for it from rotating around the lanes. You often see them trade a turtle or a lord for a turret, and I think that was some really good trade-offs to be able to not go for those neutral objectives that a lot of teams don't really go in for. So they're keeping Team Lilgun on their toes. The further this match goes, I can't wait to see how Team Lilgun responds. I do expect them to kind of pick it up a little bit. I wouldn't say that RQ Hoshi just completely annihilated them or dominated them. I just think they did slightly better on the rotations for the side laners, which made the massive difference for the initial engagement. So if we can see Team Lilgun kind of pick up their momentum, their mobility, it may be a little bit of a better outcome for them, as we are now jumping into game number 2 for the first series of the day. Team Lilgun all the way out from Mongolia up against RRQ Hoshi, currently match point and a possible sweep if Team Lilgun does not stay on their toes.
Yeah, and the bans are pretty similar from the last games. Nolan and Arlout being closed up, Matilda straight away being banned by the RQ Hoshi on the first ban. The mobility heroes being banned, and the uncomfortable RQ Hoshi are showed that they absolutely understand how to use the mobility on their hero to gain maximum advantage from it, and we'll see how Team Lilgun going to adapt and what is their response is going to be.
I'm expecting RQ Hoshi to ban out the Minotaur again. I mean, this is similar to the last match with the bans in terms of RQ Hoshi. Actually, the exact same for both sides. So possibly a Minotaur ban may be on the way. It's probably a comfort ban that they know Team Lilgun likes to run. So there is going to still open up some of their favorite picks. Maybe we see the Benedetta again. It definitely worked out before. It was very hard to keep up with. The Claude, if Skylar can pick that up, I think he executes well on that. And it looks like they're not going to ban it out. They do go in for the Navaria, though. We've talked about the Navaria not really being talked about that much or shown as one of those key heroes last game, but it had a heavy impact, especially with the slow that it was providing and also the massive damage output that the team would be able to input from that that slow CC. So jumping into this, like we said, a couple of adjustments to the ban phase for the side of Team Lilgun.
In the Green River again, like it's pretty much the same bans except of Navaria being added to this, and Ruby is being picked straight away. So the ban of Ruby last game from RQ Hoshi, I believe, right? And was for a reason, and Ruby being picked, like, yeah, well, let's see. I'm stoked to see what is so dangerous Ruby doing in these games that being drafted on the first pick and being banned. So I would love to see that.
I like the Ruby too. Honestly, it's something that we see in the NA scene. It's been having such a strong impact. You can flex it to the XP, you can flex it to the roam position, and it does just as well in both. But again, if they run that heavy mobility composition, Ruby has a little bit of mobility, but against the Benedetta, I'm not sure how that's going to kind of play out. But you are going to see, again, a similar pickup. The CC will be slotted in for RRQ Hoshi, but this time, the sustainability is going to be this Faramis, which will be kind of fun to watch. Now, there is a Valentina still on the table, so I'm wondering if Team Lilgun is going to go in for that so that they can have another realm as well.
No, I don't think they Valentina, but I don't know, maybe. I feel like even Faramis would be so much better the last game, but they went with the Valentina. But you know, about Ruby, it's like kind of hero when this hero play on your side, you cannot feel her impact that good, but when you play against it, oh my god, it's like it stuns you every single time when you not want to be stunned. It's keep going with the stuns. Yeah, so annoying.
You're going to see the Lilia picked up though, so they're going to have early game damage this side for Team Lilgun. They are going to go in for the jungle nice and early. The Martis, we know he has the anti-CC in his kit. The motor coils definitely can be a problem hitting somebody with some chain CC. And he's overall just a really good jungler for the first neutral objectives. He does fall off a little bit later in the game, which we will have to watch out for. Team Lilgun, they had the Barats before. It was a jungle bully, but it just didn't really work out the way they kind of planned it to. And it looks like they're going to be a little bit more aggressive now with this Martis, which could possibly open the doors for them in the early game. But you are going to see RQ Hoshi pick up there.
Yeah, and then the Kaja is like, I don't know. We saw this hero a lot. Like, you know, it reminds me the game from the Team Fireflies when they went from Kaja and built the fleeing time like almost like first or second item, and keep using this ultimate, keep ulting, keep killing, but it didn't kind of work because when team fight appears, it's not that effective. It's effective on the solo kills, but with the team fight, like, I don't know. So I want to see how RQ Hoshi is going to use the Kaja, because it seems like they are using heroes to their maximum potential.
Yeah, speaking of maximum potential, there goes the carry banned out. One of those more prevalent marksmans that we've been seeing this time around. In terms of meta, like the Claude is still on the table, definitely be picked up for either side. We've seen Skylar perform really well on it. I wonder if he's going to try and get that, since they are going to have first pick this time around, being second on the and on the red side for today's draft. Now, there's still a couple of bans on the table. Looking at Team Lilgun, like I said, the Ruby can be flexed into the roam position, or it could be XP. Either way, they can decide if they want to run a support, they can, to match up, especially against the heals that the Faramis is going to provide with the Nether Realm. Or they can go in for some more additional CC. There is no Diggy banned out, and there's no Minotaur actually banned out this time around, which could be a viable option if they do want to kind of last pick that and catch RQ Hoshi off guard.
Yeah, but again, mobility is kind of like, I don't know. Martis is super strong hero, but when he's like being attacked and he's forced to counter attack, otherwise they need to have some, I don't know, maybe Rafaela, something like that, and because they need to fix the mobility. Ruby is not that good as well in this department. The carry and the Cloud being banned, like double marksman this time. They not play around. They taking notes and using them straight away.
Yeah, they are trying to limit some of the marksmen available. A couple of other ones that we do see sometimes sneaking up in there is the Irithel. The Natan can be a viable option. The Bruno, the Brody.
Natan.
All of these still some strong picks to be able to be slotted for either side. I am watching for RQ Hoshi, though, having that Kaja, that suppression. It can work, especially on the Martis, right? He's going to go in for these niche objectives. If they can grab him right before that retribution mark, then you're going to be able to see Team Lilgun be able to, RQ Hoshi be able to take some of these early turtles. So that is something to watch out for. And the Kaja is a counter to the Lilia, because the Lilia can use the black shoes, be able to get all that HP back that she has lost. But if the Kaja can hit it with the Divine Judgment right beforehand, then it'll be an easy kill.
The classic, the Beatrix. Yeah, it's a super strong hero. Still super strong hero. Like, you know this when some hero being nerfed just a little bit, everybody is like, it's unplayable now. We're not going to pick him anymore. That you can see it's should be not treated this way, because if it's like minor fix, it's not the reason to not stop picking this hero. And Beatrix is there, and I would love to see.
You know, I was actually interested with the Beatrix. We don't see the Beatrix that often anymore on the side of the NA side of things. Honestly, it's one of the least picked marksmen. You see usually the Bruno, the Irithel, the Claude, the Carry, the Natan, all usually picked before her. So to be able to see this in the international scene, I want to see how it kind of plays out. But there it goes. The final pick on the side for Team Lilgun will be the Ixia.
And the Tamus as well. And I love to see Tamus. It's like, it's one of those heroes, kind of like Lunox in my perspective, because it's every time it's good. Every meta is good. Like, he's win the lane, he pressures the lane, he's good at team fights, he's good in aggression. Why not everybody picking him? He's good at X-Plane, he's good at like jungle, might be played as well. And the Lunox is kind of same stuff, so nobody picks it. But the Ixia, yeah, as well. It's like wombo combo potential.
The Wombo combo. Now, they are keeping things interesting for the side of RQ Hoshi. Right before the draft finished, we did see Lancelot picked up, which means it's going to be Assassin in the jungle. I haven't actually got to see a Lancelot game in a minute. I want to see if he can kind of dance around with them dashes, as we are going to be jumping into the land of Dawn. But like we said, this is a best-of-3 group stage A, and we're seeing RQ Hoshi currently sitting with a possible match point for a sweep over Team Lilgun, kind of leading the way for Indonesia up against Mongolia. revving into the land of Dawn. You see it right there, the virtual arena. As ladies and gentlemen, definitely support your favorite teams. Let us know which way you think this will go. Do we see the 2-0 sweep, or do we see a turnaround to even out the scoreboard 1-1? Team Lilgun up against RQ Hoshi.
Yes. Typical start on the mid lane here. Farm is trying to burst down the minions and takes as much souls as possible and succeeding in this kind of things. Kaja staying on the mid lane, just showing up the enemy heroes. Is he going to work on the Tamus here? But Tamus is pushing the wave and going to not going to the mid lane. He's trying to get the jungle minion, but like, you know, the typical start.
You know, it's funny. This is the first time I've seen a Thomas go up against a CC. So I'm going to be paying very close attention to that bot side. But already some early aggression from Team Lilgun. Massive damage. Lancelot and Thorn Rose is going to rush in. One more hit. Zara finds Bruce. But Octa very low as well. We'll get a double kill. Down goes Octa. Team Lilgun. A possible secret weapon with the Martis pickup. We talked about how much potential he provides in the early game, and 2 kills before the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, this is exactly how you should use Martis. You should use his early game advantage as much as possible with the invades on the enemy jungle and on the lane pressures. And that's exactly what Team Lilgun is doing. Wow, that's super good.
Yeah, this is definitely a different story than we've seen in game number 1. I mean, some early aggression is going to work in their favor. With Martis picking up 2 kills, he's definitely going to be ahead of Irad on the Lancelot. We are seeing this turtle spawn in the next 2 seconds, and you're already seeing Zara with the game plan to take this. He didn't have the best match with the Barats, but it's looking like a different story for him this time around.
Yeah, but it's like too early to judge, like, you know, but it's a good start to like 1.5k gold lead already and working on that turtle.
Ooh, and
some
now
extra kills. Kill. Yeah,
decimation.
Being punished for his curiosity.
Yeah, and Curiosity killed the cat, and Zara killed 3 cats so far. 3-0.
This time killed the bird. Curiosity killed the bird.
That is true, because they do have that Kaja. And speaking of the bird, Kaja, Briss, that's 2 deaths that he's had so far. Definitely need to play a little bit more passive, especially being the roamer. He's kind of opening up the opportunity for Team Lilgun to have a massive advantage in the early phase.
Yeah, but this Lancelot is still dangerous, even though he's kind of in a disadvantage here, level 5 against almost level 7, and but still trying to fight for it, and this pretty good to see. And now he's going to pay for this, like trying to steal. I mean, trying to not give the steal of this Ursa to the Martis, but being punished for that. Team Lilgun seems like they reloaded.
Yeah, and you're going to see Bruce off screen. He's going to catch Baybex. That's going to be the first kill for RQ Hoshi. Irad finding his first death of the game. That is going to go over to Ethan on the Ruby. 4-1 lead, 3-kill lead for the side of Team Lilgun, and now up by 2,000 gold. Some of those items popping up on the board as well, as you are seeing the Hunter Strike scythe be picked up from the Martis for that additional pin and mobility, already being such an early aggressive jungler.
But look on the farm table. The Beatrix is dominating actually Ixia with that quite good gold lead at this point. And there's going to be a deciding factor, the fight, when Beatrix is going to join the fight and maybe burst somebody.
Yeah, you see Baybex did pick up that Corrosion Scythe, so it'll be a little bit of slowest alongside the Thomas. On top of that, looks like Skylar is going for that Blade of Despair. I mean, I did see a Legion Sword over there, so that may be possibly what he's trying to build up. It's going to be a little bit of a higher pricey item to be able to pull off, but once he gets it, it'll definitely deal some massive physical damage. Next turtle has been spawned in, though, and it looks like Zara is going to go in for it. He was able to take the last one and get a kill on top of it, and it looks like RQ Hoshi won't be able to contest.
Yeah, they absolutely won't be able to contest, and the red buff is probably going to be pressured as well. I want to mention a good dodge, the Ruby's ultimate on the Lancelot second skill, but didn't quite result anything. And here is the pressure on the Ixia as well, and being slowly farmed down, and now the RQ Hoshi are trying to come back using this disadvantage on the Ixia.
Yeah, Ixia, I mean, 0, 2, and 0 right there. Definitely needing to find a way to get their marksman online. Kind of struggling to find the rhythm so far. You're going to go ahead and see on the bot side, though, Ruby going to go ahead and clear those minions. 4-2 so far. Team Lilgun off to a great start in the early phase. RQ Hoshi now sitting on the back end. This may be an even series if they're not careful. They are sitting at match point, though, so if they find the rhythm, could be a game ender. But I'm offended for a 2-man set. Ethan finds Skylar. You're going to see them still battling it out inside of the tier 1 turret. Thorn Rose going down. The dash in. But no Phantom Execution to take down Ethan.
Ethan initiation is so good, just like Cho last game. He's kind of vengeance, having his vengeance on this one. But prioritizing the most important target, which is Beatrix, ult in plus flicker, and immediately follow up for all his team. And this is a bad news for RQ Hoshi might be.
Zara able to take down Bruce, almost able to get another. The Nether Realm as a saving grace, keeping Genesante alive right there. But you're looking at Zara with a really good start. 4-0-2 on the Martis.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see on the Martis. And let's see it. But as you mentioned, Ixia need to start to play with the gold, and she need to farm a lot, because it's the only side of the Team Lilguns is not matching with the other one, is the Ixia. Need to start farming, otherwise this domination not gonna be there for a long time, because it will be a point when Ixia need to like one-shot people with her ultimate.
Yeah, you're looking at a 4,000 gold lead so far for the side of Team Lilgun, and that's increasing the further we go inside of this game. RQ Hoshi need to find a way to pump the brakes on their momentum right now. As you're going to see Zara take the next turtle with little to no contest, giving them a massive XP boost right now, which means when it comes to these team fights, you're going to see Team Lilgun just do a little bit better, especially with Zara, with how much he already has on his plate, sitting at 5,700 gold, highest gold in this game for their jungler. Beatrix right behind him with 53, though. Definitely ahead of the Ixia, who's having a little bit of a harder time getting online. But you are seeing the battle, the invasion over the purple buff. Zara going in for it. Irad not going to be able to... no, he looks like he was able to get it with his retribution right at the last second.
Yeah, and the Beatrix is pushing, pushing the wave and immediately TPing back. This is like exactly what she should do in this position of not power. No position of power here from RQ Hoshi, but if they manage to hold up for like 6-7 minutes additional, I mean not 6-7 minutes, I mean basically it's one fight. If Team Lilgun lose one fight, they might come back here, but we'll see.
Yeah, as the battle on the way, a siege for the tier 2 turret in the proxy of the lane. Massive damage goes out. Forbit takes on Zara, gets another, finds Skylar. And now we'll be able to take this tier 2 turret on the bot side. But in the mid lane, pay attention to Irad, trying to go in, trying to find a trade. beheq will find a turret off screen as well.
That's exactly what they are doing in terms of like aggressive defense. Like, you know, they Team Lilgun killing RQ Hoshi people, but the Lancelot trying to even that out and like split push, defend, don't let them get the objectives because of that kills. And yeah, that's the right thing to do, to kind of drag the game a little bit, hold it for more minutes.
Yeah, and right now, RQ Hoshi trying to hold off Team Lilgun from claiming even more real estate on today's match. Off to a great start with a 6-kill lead and also up by 5,000 gold as this Lord spawns in. So far, we haven't been able to see Team RQ Hoshi be able to take any of these neutral objectives. Team Lilgun just getting everything they came for, not asking any questions, and just handling their business at every stage of the early game. Can we see RQ Hoshi turn this around? Divine Judgment goes out. Skylar gets the kill, takes down Forbid. We just talked about this. The Kaja being the counter for the Lilia.
Oh, and the Lord is being contested probably. Lancelot is kind of far away, and the second skill with the Retribution gonna steal the Lord. It was so like, I can saw it from the far away, like, you know, he's like, oh, there's Lord there. Let me try to steal it. And like, and just took it.
Skylar, though, on the chase, he wants Zara. You are going to see Aizen try and kite him. A little bit of an overextension, and Aizen will be able to get the kill, but able to shut down Zara. Phantom Execution in. Thorn Rose connecting beheq. 15% HP, will make his way back into the tier 2 turret. And now the Lord intact, making his way down the mid lane. And you're looking at RQ Hoshi turning this game around. Team Lilgun now on the defense. Aizen very low, forced to go back. Forbid may not be able to get out of there. You're going to see Arad going in, trying to get the kill. Not able to close the distance on Aizen as he makes his way back to the base, and down goes the Lord.
Ethan was a little bit hesitating with his ultimate because he cashed Lancelot with his second skill and he should ult immediately afterwards, but he ulted like a little bit longer, so it opens up a window for the Lancelot to dodge with the second skill, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, you see, he was definitely on the chase. It was funny watching Skylar trying to chase down a kill, getting punished over there by Aizen, and then the same thing with Irad trying to find Aizen on his way out. Neither side able to kind of close that distance. But so far, 10-5. Even though RQ Hoshi is behind in kills, they are now leading the way in terms of turrets, and the gold has almost equalized for both sides. Team Lilgun up by 1,000, but in terms of map control, it is now favoring RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with this one. I'm just wondering why Team Lilgun keep doing the same mistake. Like, they not focusing the heroes. They like going for these like 50-50 lords. I don't know.
Ooh, but this match is not 50-50 with this engagement on the side. Skylar will find Aizen on the 4v2. Ethan left by himself to pick up the pieces, and they may go in to take this turret. Ethan not really in a position to contest, and it looks like Skylar is going to seize this opportunity. Skylar already 2,000 gold ahead of beheq.
Yeah, and the double ultimate on the Beatrix just to follow up Kaja's ultimate, Divine Judgment, and like so synchronized. Like as soon as Kaja ult, they're like grenades are flying in and the pistols are already being loaded, ready to follow up, and super fast kill. No vengeance for Tamus because it's impossible to use while being ulted with Kaja or Franco. And yeah, taking the full advantage out of that.
You are looking at the highest kills in the game so far, going over to Zara. Had a really good start on that Martis, now sitting 6-1-3 for the side of Team Lilgun. But on RRQ Hoshi, even though they're not high on kills, their synergy is definitely coming alive as we are now officially in the mid game. They don't have the high mobility that we saw in game 1, especially with that Benedetta rotating around and keeping Team Lilgun on their toes, but they're making up for it with their IQ. Conceal play has been called out though from the side of Team Lilgun, trying to rush in, trying to catch Genesante, but he puts on the skates and slides away, but hit over there by Ruby with the CC, and massive damage going out. Mortar coils from Zara, trying to get a decimation off, Phantom Execution in. Irad will find Ethan, gets a double, shuts down beheq, a 2-for-none trade, gets that triple, on his way to a possible Maniac as Octa will be able to find one as well. Forbid all by himself, trying to get away. RQ Hoshi on the chase, can they get him?
No.
He's gonna sandwich around Irad, not letting him go, showing no mercy. Black shoes though, a massive play to be able to escape the full team of RQ Hoshi as they're now going in for a possible game ender. They have minions and only one member to go through, but Ethan will spawn in time for some additional CC. Do they try and close it out here? I'm not sure if they can pull it off, and it looks like they are now going to shift their focus onto this Luminous Lord.
Wow, what a turnaround, like. And Lancelot was kind of reminding me of this game, like Checkers, you call it, right? When he was jumping on the minions, it was like like that kind of stuff.
I will say Irad is thirsty for the kills. The way he's rotating around, the way he pathed over into the inhibitor turret to try and box out Forbid from escaping, but the black shoes at the last second to wrap back around into the inhibitor for the mid lane saved his life right there and avoided a full wipeout in a game ender. That could have been everything out for Team Lilguns, as they're currently sitting 0-1. If RQ Hoshi closes this game out with this Luminous Lord, it will be a 2-0 sweep, and they will have a big advantage for Group Stage A.
Yeah, Iradis definitely want to like give them taste of their own medicine because of the early game. Like every time is invading his buffs, every time like harassing him into the jungle, and now they gonna pay for it.
Yeah, Team Lilgun backs against the wall. Everything to lose right here if they're not careful. RQ Hoshi, Viva RRQ, as they are alive right now and doing well. 10-10 on the scoreboard, but down goes the Lord. Some great defense from Team Lilgun, but now stripped down to only the base crystal and no inhibitors.
Yeah, RQ Hoshi being able to defend all of the attacks of the team Lilgun. Only 3 towers are down, and the mid lane, like most important tower, is still up. And RQ Hoshi maintain their composure and not nervous in under the immense pressure Team Lilgun putting on them, and gathering their thoughts for this like final counter attack, and they did it quite good. Just like waited for some items, I guess.
Yeah, now they have all the lanes synced. It looks like they're going to go in for the close. They don't have the Lord, but no worries. We have the minions and the damage. Massive play. Big on offended set, though. beheq will find Octa. Forbid takes down Bruce. A turnaround. Team Lilgun on the defense. Man of execution out. You're going to look at Irad doing a quick 180. Not going in with what they came for. RQ Hoshi, a little bit of a miscalculated play right there. And Team Lilgun able to turn it around.
I mean, RQ Hoshi damage every single target for like 20-30%, maybe even lower, but they should like... They was damaging everyone instead of like trying to focus priority. They thought they can kill all of them, but damage wasn't there in when you put it like that on the every single person you can see around you. And yeah, now they go into defend, and the Team Lilgun has a small window to actually come back and maybe potentially 5 versus 4 somebody. But Kaza is running straight from the base already. 10 seconds for the Lord, and it's going to be 5-5 on the Lord.
Ooh, but the aggressive play, Genesante caught in the middle, uses the Winter Truncheon, but not going to be able to hold him off. Second saving grace, immortality, been procced, and he goes down. Zara with the decimation, 1 member falling for RRQ Hoshi. And now you're seeing some heavy focus in the mid lane. Luminous Lord spawned in, and Team Lilgun with the advantage of numbers.
Wow, insanely good, you know, the freeze into the immortality, and on top of that, Faramis tried to ult, but he actually like slipped a little bit, and the ult didn't proc on him with the immunity effect. It might be enough to survive for the counter attack, and the ultimate Divine Judgment goes into Martis and trying to follow up on Beatrix with the damage, but it's not enough. And now Martis is gonna keep working on the Lord. I don't know it's a good idea or not, but Phantom Execution going in, trying to get the Lilia, but not gonna happen because of that Ruby with the spawn on the drop against Assassins is so good.
Yeah, Irad did fall though, so there's no retribution for RQ Hoshi, and now a possible opportunity with the numbers from Team Lilgun to close this game out. Octa gets a kill, Zora takes down Skylar. That's gonna be a 2-for-2 trade so far. Looks like the numbers have equalized. RQ Hoshi finding a way, finding a will. Burst will take down Forbid. 2 more members left to go through. Make it 1. Zora immortality has been procced. May not be able to get out of there. Ringo order for the slow. Burst on his tail. Can they take him down? Octa will. He won't fall. That's going to leave Genesante in the base trying to close it out. Ethan left to defend against the 3-man team of RQ Hoshi, looking for the 2-0 sweep. Eisen joining the party, gonna use that Cotter Inferno last minute, trying to hold him off. 25%, 5%, Viva RRQ as they get the 2-0 sweep out from Indonesia, taking down Team Lilgun from Mongolia in Group Stage A, Game of Futures 2024.
Yeah, congratulations, RQ is 2-0 Team Lilgun, and nice. RQ are so good. Like, you know, the Lilgun, it seems like from my perspective, they kind of pressure RQ, but I guess when they practice, they didn't saw this kind of like hard defense, and they don't understand how to crack this kind of defense. And you should go more aggressive. You should do like a little bit more risk, like go maybe in, maybe kill, and then do something prioritizing. But they are lacking in this department, how to secure the objective when you have the advantage. And what is advantage? It's maybe like the point in the game when your team just have like stronger ultimates, stronger heroes, and this is like the advantage, not the gold advantage, but the like tempo, in-game tempo heroes advantage, and they kind of not using it for full potential. But it might be because RQ are so good at defense and Lilgun not used to this kind of good defense, and don't know how to crack it.
Yeah, definitely need to find a way to break the code. Team Lilgun just having a hard time. They did really well in the beginning, right? It was looking very promising. They were hitting all the objectives on time. But RQ Hoshi able to stay resilient as it got to that mid game, able to find a way to turn this around after that Lord play, and they were able to do it even with that amazing start from that Martis just kind of dominating, leading 4-0, taking both neutral objective turtles in the beginning. It just wasn't enough. Indonesia looking stronger than ever so far, though, with RQ Hoshi just showcasing their mastery. Mongolia not out of the mix yet, though. Team Lilgun will have another shot. Like we said, this is Group Stage A, and whoever goes out with the best win-loss ratio will be able to move forward. The top 3 teams. One will fall, though, but RQ Hoshi, 2-0 sweep to start off the day.
Looking strong, yeah. And, you know, the difference from my perspective, again, the understanding of the importance of the regular minions, just regular minions, like, you know, when Team Lilgun like kind of forcing the fights, you can see Beatrix or Lancelot just clearing up the waves on the like opposite lane. So Team Lilgun get the kills, but they can't do anything, they can't push anything because of these kills. So it's just like kills, not gonna do anything for you, because you really want to like get the kills and get the map control, get the kills, get the like at least buffs, and RQ Hoshi understand this concept, and the Team Lilgun kind of not, maybe they do, maybe they understand, but the tempo of the game is so high, so it seems like it's not prioritizing Team Lilgun. It's just they just prioritizing kills and then doing nothing with the kills. Just like in this moment, look, Martis going in, 3 people stun, and they gonna kill all of them, but on the mid lane, Lancelot is rotating to the mid lane just to clear up and don't let their mid to fall down. So the defense in terms of macro gaming are so much ahead on the RQ Hoshi than Team Lilgun.
Yeah, definitely credits to being able to focus on these objectives, especially when under pressure. Because like we said, the early game, Lilgun was looking stronger than ever. I mean, you looked like they were going to kind of close this game out with ease, but they're able to hold on to their entire mid lane for the side of RQ Hoshi, and I think that's what kind of kept them in there, alongside rotating around, like you mentioned, and taking some of these mid lane turrets, while the side of Lilgun was kind of focused on trying to go for the kills. Speaking of kills, though, as you are seeing about that 12-minute mark, this is where we started to see them turn it around. This is where RQ Hoshi came alive. Viva RRQ. Irad with the triple kill. Octa taking down Aizen. And then the battle for a possible siege, trying to close this out. But this is some good defense, where they tried to kind of hold them from trying to close this game out for the side of Lilgun. You see the suppression go down. You see both teams fight it out. But a massive I'm a Finna for 3-man set from Ethan to keep Lilgun inside of this game.
Yeah, and still no damage for RQ. They tried to finish the game. They kind of didn't make it. One dead, and they just retreat, wait a little bit, reload, and even now they kind of like not winning, not losing the fight, but they having their composure and just keep going, and keep doing right stuff. And Team Lilgun is being overwhelmed by the actions of the RQ Hoshi and don't know what to do.
Yeah, and speaking of actions speak louder than words. We are seeing the MVP on the board. Octa with the Faramis, 3, 2, and 8, stacking up those assists, 22% damage dealt, 557 gold per minute. But it was really the power of the Netherrealm keeping RQ Hoshi alive inside of a lot of these engagements, which made up a lot of the difference, especially in that mid to late game when RQ Hoshi was able to turn this around. Great synergy overall and a well-deserved MVP on today's first series of the day, ending in a 2-0 sweep. It was definitely entertaining, though. I wouldn't say it was one-sided. Team Lilgun just needing to work a little bit more on their late game to be able to close it out when they do have the massive objectives in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And in this game in particular, they should help their gold laner more. Just like you said, they need to take like online their gold laner, and they kind of like had this like, I don't know, rush, like, okay, we're winning, let's keep killing them, like instead of like helping these like pieces on the board to kind of work all. And I don't know, 14% damage on the gold laner, that's not what you want to see. And on the other hand, the CC actually is the top damage on the RQ Hoshi. Yeah, Genosante both games insanely strong.
Yeah, well, you're right. We got to see the CC in action from Genosante. Game 1, we got to see the Benedetta with some flawless execution. Skylar, though, on the Beatrix did pretty decently. You're looking at that 57% team participation. Making sure to do a lot of turret damage as well. 53% of the turrets were claimed from him in today's match. And also in the last game, he had a very high damage against the entire team of Team Lilgun with that Claude. Definitely showcasing some mastery at its finest in the gold lane, and kind of showcasing just how good RQ Hoshi is looking this time around for Game of Futures. Team Lilgun, on the other hand, though, like we said, don't count them out yet. They still have another shot. Not off to the best start in the group stage, but hey, there's always another day, and that will be today's. We'll be seeing them continue to compete. Now, I will say, beheq had a really hard time getting online with the Ixia. We saw him getting shut down really often, even when Team Lilgun had a huge advantage. Zara was going crazy with the Martis. I'm talking about the dude had like 9 kills. But like you said, a little too kill thirsty and not objective focus is what kind of costed them the game. They were chasing the kills, but they weren't translating this over to turrets on the map. And that's where you started to see RQ Hoshi make up the difference.
Or help gold laner, or like, I don't know, he just was farming the kills, it seemed like. And I felt like, you know, a little bit of frustration on the Ixia here, because like every ultimate is kind of like late and missed. So I don't think the player is bad. I think it's like mentally, like in the game, you're not there, So I felt like kind of frustration there, and that's a very bad sign.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to work under pressure, as these teams are not playing no games. Like I said, guys, this is Game of Futures. All your favorite international teams are competing here for the biggest prize pool that we have seen probably ever in the Mobile Legends scene, with $1 million on the line right now. And you're already seeing RQ Hoshi wanting it more than ever, able to take our first series of the day in Group Stage A with a 2-0 sweep. Still a lot of heavy teams on the board. We're only doing Group Stage A. Group Stage B is also live as well, with some amazing matches. So definitely make sure you guys are tuning in to your favorite teams. A lot of good players on the board. Some teams that we are going to be seeing up next, actually, you played for in the past, Deuce Volts, and they're going to be going up against Burmese Ghouls. How do you kind of feel about that matchup?
Yeah, I was a 6th player, by the way. I didn't like played live. I was a backup player, but still was in the team. Yeah, I'm. Of course, for me personally, it's going to be the most interesting matchup. I would love to see the maybe retribution for the M2 group stage, because lost to Burmese Ghouls. But like, yeah, like I said, a lot of players are switched. So it's not like the same teams playing, but there are players that was there years ago. So yeah, I'm very much interested. And Deuce Wolf looking super strong here. Finished the fourth place at M5, like latest M tournament, which is like insanely good result. So yeah, I'm waiting for this matchup.
You know, it's funny too, you talked about these Volts, but we take a look at Burmese Schools as well. They competed in M5. They placed 7th to 8th place, losing to CU soon, and they actually got swept 0-3. They are coming out of Myanmar as well to represent their region, and like we said, this is going to be the first match of, or the first series of the day that we actually get to see 2 M Series talents go head-to-head this time around. So we're going to expect some excellent micro, some excellent macro from both sides of the table. We haven't got to see Burmese Skills compete since the M Series, so I want to kind of see how they kind of fare, especially up against Deuce Volts, who placed, like you said, way higher inside of the M Series, sitting at that 4th place position. Surprising the world. Kid Bomb over there, definitely shout out to him. Amazing player, like, as well.
Burmese Ghouls was like 2nd place with a super like intense matchup versus Bran, which was like Bran won like 3-2 or like 4-3. I don't quite remember, but it was like wow, Burmese goals. It was so unexpected, like out of nowhere, Burmese goals come and like win up to grand finals. Like, wow.
Yeah, we haven't actually got to see
know.
neither of these teams compete since the M Series, so we're going to kind of see, have they been practicing, what have they been working on, and what adjustments have they made since the M Series tournament, and who will kind of be able to push off this victory. Is it going to be 2-0? Will it be a 1-2? Will it be a 2-1? Or will it be in either of these sides' favors? Definitely let us know, guys. Do you think the side of Deucevolts will be able to take down Burmese Schools? Do you think it'll be the other way around for this match? I would love to hear your guys' input as we're getting ready to jump into the next match. But like we said, Group Stage A, definitely full of some bangers. And shout out to all these teams who are currently competing. But only 3 are going to make it forward. 1 will be knocked down after today. And I'm wondering who that's going to be. Like I said, a lot of heavy hitters are on the table, as you already see in Burmese Schools and Deucevolts on the board as we get ready for their match to start. I'm excited to see where this goes. Our first match or series for the day with 2 M Series talents.
Yeah, can't wait to see. Like, we can like kind of speculate on the draft if you want. Are we going to see again, like, are these 4 heroes on the gold lane, like Claude, Carrie, Beatrix and Ixia, and that's it? Like, all of the tournament again? The meta is right there.
Yeah, meta's definitely shifting, and like I said, that's one of the most things that I'm paying attention to, especially because, like I said, we got our tournament going on for North America to qualify for the MSC, the NACT, and being able to see our teams compete and compare the meta to the international level, there are some similarities, but there are also some major differences. Like I said, some of the newer picks that we've seen walk on the board, at least with the last series that me and you got to cast together, was the Benedetta. I haven't actually got to see a Benedetta play too often, but it performed really well. Some of the similarities that we do see, though, is like the mages, like the Varia sliding in there, definitely having a strong impact.
Yeah, I think Benedetta is a skill-dependent hero. Like, you know, you do one mistake and you're dead if you're going full damage, which you are probably when you're playing Benedetta, and that's why we can see her a lot of times, because teams trying to pick heroes with not that big of a cost of a mistake because of the personal skill. But on this level, you have the players who are able to play without mistakes. So this opens up a window for heroes like Lancelot, like Benedetta as well, and a lot of different heroes, Fanny as well, you can see, which is like, yeah, always in the meta. And I would like to talk about the meta, actually, from as far as I'm understanding. Like, you know, everybody talks about the meta, but what is meta? For my perspective, meta is like, stands for most effective tactic available, which means it's not only the heroes to pick. So it involves the better heroes, but it actually not all circling around only the heroes. So from my perspective, meta is being the same for years now. So 3 people mid lane, I mean roughly 3 people, roamer, mage and the jungler, making pressure on the enemy side, trying to dominate this river side, trying to do even more pressure on the jungle and eventually help the lanes. So this is the meta for me, and this is like at the first place. This is like the fundament, for the base of the meta. And on top of that, you place the heroes who are better in this kind of department, and that's it. Like, and the teams are showing that actually a lot of heroes can fit into this kind of concept. And what do you need for this is like balanced blend of mobility, high input of damage early game, this is really important, and the scaling to the late game. And you need to be the master of this, like, blend of these aspects. And that's kind of exactly what we saw from RRQ. They understand this quite well. And Team Lilgun are not quite understand this, because there was in the moments into the game when, in my opinion, they should go harder, go like they need to take this turret. They cannot let RRQ defend this turret. They need to do more, and they kind of like, okay, this time we don't get the turret, let's get it next time. They don't have this time, they need to go now, and yeah, kind of harder. So yeah, this is, from my perspective, this is meta, not only the heroes that I was trying to say.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I mean, when it comes to meta, there's a couple things that, you know, teams have to kind of check off. First of all, it's definitely focusing on the draft, finding a way to get the most optimal composition for your team. It's not always about chasing necessarily the top most picked heroes, but understanding what's most effective for your team and the way they kind of play, and drafting toward their play style, but also trying to limit those top picks and comfort picks from the opposing team. I like to say, like, draft is half the battle. Definitely execution after that, once you jump into the Land of Dawn, is something that we have to see the teams be able to focus on. When you pick these heroes, such as we saw the Barats, we saw the Estus come out, we didn't really get to see them really use what they were kind of drafted for, right? The Barats having a strong frontline presence and the Estus being able to keep them alive. We were seeing the Barats get bursted down really fast, and there wasn't even really that much late or early game damage from the side of RRQ Hoshi to even be able to pull that off, but they were still able to execute it. And again, like we said, it's just boiling down to executing the draft that you put on the playing field as a definitely second part of that. You kind of talked about the team compositions and what you like to see, like early game damage, late game damage, things of that nature. I'm in the same boat as you. I like to see a couple of things checked off the board when I see a team draft. First is going to be a possible single target CC, like suppression, but if you can't get it, that's fine. At least some hero with group CC. I'd like to see a hero with sustainability and mobility on top of that, may possibly slot it into the XP lane. I think works out really well. And then either your mage being a late game damage dealer or early game damage dealer, and then balance it out with your marksman being the opposite. Those are two things that I like to see currently checked off to be able to have a good composition and kind of shift toward what we would consider meta. Here in North America, some things that we don't really traditionally see is a lot of assassin gameplay anymore. We've been kind of shifting over to more of the tankier lineup in the fighter style for the jungle. I think the most assassins that we currently seen, at least this NACT spring season that's currently going on right now, we saw Hayabusa come out of nowhere, which is not really that often. Only one team pulled it out. The most common assassin that we'll see nowadays is a Fanny. Hasn't had the highest win rate.
How did he perform?
Honestly, the Fanny, I feel like back in the day, it used to be a little bit better with not being able to CC when the cables were going in, but now you can kind of catch the Fanny in its tracks. It's not really as explosive, at least in the NA side of things, to be able to open up that bridge in the early game with those nice kills. But this time around, you know, hopefully we're going to see some different shifts in meta and see what the international scene is looking like as we're getting ready for Group A Round 1. Deucevolt's up against Burmese Ghouls. Deucevolt's ready to take it to the ground. Burmese Ghouls as well, representing out of Mongolia. This is our second series of the day, and it will be a best of 3. Definitely let us know which way you guys think it will go as we are getting ready to jump into the Land of Dawn and get this draft going. But like I said, meta is definitely important. It's going to boil down to execution as well, and just a solid overall team composition.
Yeah, but I saw this meta as well, the tanky meta. But in my opinion, because the tanks are easier to use, the full potential of the hero is easier to use. Like, you need to like press 2, press 1, press ult, and you're done. You don't need to like hit the wall with the cables, with Lancelot like jumping around and catching with the Ling like all of his blades after the ultimate, which is basically just hard to do. It's just hard to do, like with your fingers. It's hard to hit all of it perfectly. You don't need to do that when you play the tankier hero. You just go in and like auto cast skill and just go better, and it works. So when you have these players who actually can perform with the harder heroes, you can see meta is different. But why is it different? It's not because of the hero is better, it's because of the player is better.
Yeah, and speaking of players, a little bit of a showcase of the rosters from both sides. We just got a little bit of a sneak peek at Deucevolt. Saw Kid Bomba over there representing Sunset Lover as well, Sawo. And now looking at Burmese Ghouls, we got Blink, Nico, Stitch, Saksa, and D-Lar. I know there's definitely a lot of fan favorites out there, so definitely support your favorite teams as you're getting ready to fight it out. But like I said, these are two powerhouse teams. These are two teams that made it all the way to the M Series. We got to see Deuce Volts go a little bit further, sitting at that 4th position, losing to Blacklist, currently inside of M5. And then Burmese Schools right behind them. They fell, though, to See You Soon, a little 0-3 sweep. But still, nonetheless, like you said, World Series competition.
Yeah, this is experience, and both teams are having a bunch of it, and we are going to see maybe something like off meta. Like we had a team, the Umbrella Squad, which get renamed on a. This team was on a wild card on M5, so you can check that, and they always going off meta, and it works. Like example, Lapu Lapu jungle, example like Goshen mid lane mage with the Petrify, and it worked every time. It worked, like, so it shows that there is no such thing as a meta, because you can, you know, I always speaking about it, you can talk about I mean, not talk, but you can bring out the best version of meta only if you have theoretically all of the heroes maximized potential. Like imagine you playing absolutely perfect on every hero in the game, and only in these circumstances you can pick like the better heroes and bring up like absolute meta. But in this moment of time, it seems like the meta is heavily dependent on the player skills on the particular heroes.
Yeah, I feel like meta is going to shift just depending on each region, where the most similar ones probably being the Philippines and Indonesia, and then everybody else right behind them. Now, I want to see how this kind of rolls out between these two teams, right? I mean, we're seeing Mongolia step into the scene, Deuce Volts as well, out there from Russia. So I want to see how they kind of play into this match, right? Are we going to see the meta kind of shift from what we saw in the last series? We noticed Mongolia was having a hard time keeping up with a more mobile team. We saw the side of Indonesia, they went in for that Benedetta, they went in for that high mobility in the XP lane, and then they had the Claude, who had mobility as well with the BMI from that Battle Mirror image. So I wonder if we see some similarities. Some things that have been kind of the same as, like I said, the NA region is the Ruby pickup. That's been more of that staple XP laner, or also a possible roamer to be flexed into. We also got to see, like I said, the Claude, the carry. You mentioned it. We asked which two marksmen were going to be picked up, and it was almost a no-brainer. And that just shows you the similarities all across the world on what two marksmen are mostly picked up, at least this time around. Yeah, they're strong pickups indeed, at least for the marksmen. I would say for mages, from what I've seen, the Navaria, the Vexana, and the Aurora and the Nana have been really the most picked so far. The Faramis will slide in here and there to kind of run in that mid lane on occasions. Usually in NA, though, we'll counter it with a Valentina or something of that nature, which I did not see last game. I kind of expected a Valentina to be the response, but no, they went in for the Lilia instead, which was a surprise.
And I would like to add that Claude is actually like hard to play hero. Like I mean, I tried to play Claude, but it's not working the way the Skylar is playing Claude. Like it's an absolutely different hero. Like he's aggressive from without even items. I couldn't achieve that kind of thing. So it shows up. It's not like the Claude is good. It's the player. The player understands all of the in-game situation and acts with the maximum efficiency to execute the better result for his team. And we can move into the draft already. And the Diggy is like first ban here. It's like those were favorite picks, I guess, last couple of tournaments. So yeah, they absolutely prepared for this kind of stuff and just decided to ban it.
Yeah, the Diggy's going to open up the possibility for a Minotaur play for either side. I mean, in NA, we usually see the Minotaur slotted in, or right after that, a possible Tig could be an answer. We are seeing that Claude banned out. That is one of the major marksmen that's been currently slotted. The carry is still available, is a strong option. The Guinevere actually made it through the first ban phase of this draft. Can be a viable jungler, or flex to the XP lane, or flexed as a roamer if necessary. A very strong pickup. The R-Lot is gone, though, which means it won't be the best synergy paired up with the Guinevere with that additional CC, but the Gwyn, still a solid option. Mathilda was banned out, though. Barat's still on the table. Like we said, a heavy picked up roamer, or not roamer, but jungler. But speaking of roamers and possible XP laners, you're going to see Burmese Skills wasting no time picking up the Ruby.
Yeah, Ruby, second time is going for the first pick here, and yeah, last time it went super good, but it wasn't quite enough. But still good, and the Guinevere and the carry, we was talking about carry. By the way, Deus will have new gold laner now from the different team. It was like young prospect, and it's going to be the good test for him, and starting from this game with carry.
Yeah, I like the carry. I mean, especially with that Claude being banned out, Deuce Volts had a game plan. They said, hey, we're not going to let both marksmen walk. We'll definitely get one of the major ones slotted in that carry and not allowing the Claude. There is a Brody still on the table, though. I wonder if Burmese Schools will take that, especially with the Guinevere, which is a heavily dive-oriented hero. When you have the Brody, you have the Corrosive Strike. It's a little bit of that stun. Pair it up with the Flicker, and you have some great mobility. But they are going to go in for something that's just as good, I feel like, at least recently. But it's the Natan. I feel like the Brody's a little bit better. I haven't seen the highest success rate with the Natan in the NA scene yet. But it has been slotted a lot, surprisingly. So hopefully today we get to see some mastery from the side of Burmese Schools pulling it out. But something that we got to see work really well last game but not pull off the victory, they are going to pull in the Martis.
Yeah, it seems like they watched the previous game and thought like, oh, the draft is good, but the execution isn't there. We're gonna go do all this perfect. But a couple of words about Nathan. Like, I don't know. I played Nathan a lot, and it's like good hero, but seems like, at least for me, he's working only when enemy don't know how Nathan works exactly. And when you kind of know how he worked, it's not that hard to counter him. He's like pretty good, but he's a glass cannon. He really wants to like stay in with the ult, have his stacks, and like fast kills. He has insane amount of damage, but he needs to achieve that window when he just can stay on the one place and damage a lot. And this might not happen if your enemy is aware of what you want to do. So it's going to be really interesting game. I love to see Nathan, and in my opinion, he can't win on the lane carry, but he can't either lose the carry as well. If carry goes like with this region HP region build, he's not going to be able to harass her out. She's way too tanky. And on top of that, if he make a mistake and he catches first kill from the carry, he might even lose the lane. But I guess the players on this level understand all of this.
I think the Minotaur would be great here. Looking at Deuce Volt, they can definitely either side can use it. Burmese Schools would be great because they'd be able to definitely catch a lot of those heroes at bay, especially with the Diggy being banned out nice and early. But they don't have priority on the second phase of this draft, which means Deuce Volt may be able to steal it if they're keeping their eyes on it. Now, CC was picked up from Kid Bomba, which is going to work in his favor. I can't wait to see how that kind of goes. Did excellent inside of M5. Definitely a crowd favorite over there from the side of Deuce Volts. Burmese Schools, they have the Martis, good anti-CC, especially up against that Guinevere, who's going to be trying to dive in. Now, I wonder why they banned the Diggy, though. Are they trying to bait out the Minotaur? Are they trying to get it themselves? Time will tell. As the final ban has been finalized for both sides, they're going to go ahead and take out the Brats, trying to limit the jungling capability. It looks like they might expect this to be a Guinevere roam, which is the beauty about it, right? It can be a flex pick, it could be XP, roam, jungle, you name it, it can do it. But definitely with the CC in there, that'll be the XP laner. Now, do we even consider Ruby the XP for this one? It's a flex pick as well, which could also be the roam for Burmese Schools.
It's like, you know, this draft, two-sided variations when you can like make your enemy guess, because it can be either roam, like last game we saw the roam Ruby, and it might be exp as well, but exp, like, I don't know, Ruby is way too defensive on the X plane, and especially CC is going to pressure Ruby, and Ruby is gonna be forced to clear the wave second under turret, and this allows enemy explainer to rotate and pressure your team, which you don't want to appear. And the Minotaur, yeah, Minotaur. I just wanted to credit the Digi ban. I don't think Digi ban is because Burmese Ghosts want to pick big crowd control. I think it's their, I mean, part of the reason, sure, but the most part of this reason is because the Deus Vult are so good with playing with this kind of vision-giving heroes, which is Selena and Digi. They like play using this information super good. I think this is the main reason, and it also scales to the late game and start being the problem. Digi.
Yeah, it definitely could also be, you know, because Sawo, on how well he kind of performs on the Digi as well. A little bit of that comfort pick, taking it out of his hands, a secret weapon on the way. And we're going to see Burmese Skills. They're not really going to waste any time in the draft, just quickly selecting our final picks. They are going to pick up that Baxia. So this may be a Baxia in the jungle, which means the Martis will be in the XP lane, and the Ruby will be the roamer, if I'm looking at this correctly, for the side of Burmese Schools. Looking at Deus Volts, though, they do have that Minotaur. Nobody to really stop him from popping up that Minoan's Fury for that group set. They do have a Lilia, though, to be able to deal some damage and burst him down. And then the final pick on the way for the side of Deus Volts, it's the Nana. How do you feel about that?
Oh, you called it. You called it. You wanted to see. And yeah, that's a pretty good hero. Pretty solid rework on the second skill and the third skill as well. Now you can like guaranteed combo it, and this is a lot, because now when you have ultimate, you basically can use it every single time, like second skill ult, and it's guaranteed stun if you master the skills. No randomness, because like, you know, when the second skill was running for the target, he was like running, and he at the last possible second he can like 180 to backwards, and Nana gonna ult on top of that and gonna miss, and like it's almost impossible to guarantee.
And speaking of guaranteed, we are jumping into the land of Dawn. Inside of the virtual arena we go for Games of Future 2024. Two M-Series talents going head-to-head in Group Stage A. You're going to be seeing all the way outside from Russia. That's right, Deus Volts is back in action again, placing fourth in M5, going up against Burmese Ghouls, all the way from Myanmar. Which way will this game go? Will we see D-Lar leading the way on this Martis, which is actually in the XP lane in the Baxia jungle, or will we see Magister pull out some magic tricks from his bag with the Guinevere jungle?
Yeah, we're going to see, but mid lane is being slightly pressured by Deus Vult, and the river minion is being contested. Ruby joins. Ruby is actually Baxia is there, ready to fight, but nobody contesting the river minion. Guinevere going for the X-plane rotation, and almost level 4, gonna try to probably use the ultimate, but it's not the best target to gank. Actually, the Martis can easily dodge all of this CC.
Yeah, and speaking of Martis, you can tell he's definitely going a little bit more defensive, right? He picked up the concussive blast over there. So I'm definitely going to be kind of keeping my eyes on him. On the bot side, though, you are going to be seeing Stitch running on this Natan, going up against Hiko on the carry. Both really good heroes when it comes to bursting down your opponents, and it's going to be a battle of who can get to the late game items first. Now, I would definitely expect some heavy prioritization into the gold lanes. If you can delay either the Natan or the carry by getting a kill on them, especially this early in the game, it's going to be huge to be able to take control of this match, as we are going to go ahead and see both teams ready to rotate around. Turtle has spawned in, and Saksa and Magister in position for the aggro.
And the Minotaur and the Ruby, which are the roamers, trying to take the level 4 on the mid lane, which not going to work obviously, but if Turtle is being farmed, the team gonna get level 4 first. And the Guinevere going in right into the Saksa and follow up with the team, which make the kill, but the Lar is revenging his fallen jungler with his own ultimate and trying to get the double kill, which absolutely works with the concussive blast you mentioned, which make unnecessary damage. And going for the Turtle, I guess it's not... Saksa gonna join right there, and the Turtle is going to get farmed.
And that's going to be a double kill for a double kill. Kid Bomba able to get one first, and then D-Lar right on his back with the decimation is able to claim that and get the turtle, and now maybe able to get a kill as Sunset Lever trying to get out. Big flicker play, able to escape with 1 HP, and now the flank from the side push in the mid lane. Kid Bomba trying to find on Magister. Very low, using the spatial migration to expand that distance back to his orange buff.
Yeah, 300 gold difference and red buff being farmed, and again, like gold laners are just like X-planers, like I don't know, just 1v1, and the carry is actually being pressured a lot here. Ultimate probably popped out on the Nathan. Here Minotaur gonna get for the bot lane for some heals, and the Ruby is reading that kind of behavior, rotating as well, and the Guinevere going to gank Nathan, I guess, but it's going to be hard because of the pet Purified.
Yeah, definitely going to be a challenge. Both teams even so far, as we are looking at Myanmar up against Russia, Deuce Volts up against Burmese Ghouls. Kid Bomba, a crowd favorite, definitely leading the way so far. Highest kills on the board for the side of Deuce Volts, and then Burmese Ghouls leading the way with D-Lar stampeding through 2-0-0. Interesting enough, it's both XP laners leading the way in terms of the kills right now for both sides, but you're seeing some heavy focus onto the bot lane. You can see the I'm Finna go in, catch Sawo, but not able to deal massive damage.
Yeah, immediately heals back to almost full with the basic region. And seems like nobody is going to gank the bot lane because the stacked up roamers on top of the gold laners, nobody wanted to risk it. Everybody wants like kind of unexpected attack, and this is absolutely expected to be expected attack. 300 gold actually still holding up to after the couple of minutes in. It means actually that all of the teams, that's a good thing is Carry is doing, making Nathan lose one ballista, which is like 100 gold, and team on this level absolutely understanding this. Vengeance being popped, but not gonna work for the pure damage Martis is doing with his ultimate with the low HP, trying to go on and secure the turtle, but on the other hand, Ruby is actually ulting on the carry and follow up with the Nathan gonna kill the carry as well, and that's big for Burmese Ghouls. And on top of that, trying to even steal the red buff. No retribution being used on Baxia still, but yeah, that's a good sweep by Burmese Ghouls.
Yeah, able to get that turtle to give him a massive XP boost as well. Off to a great start. Now taking advantage for the early game, at least leading the way. But on the top side, Nico and D-Lar up against Kid Bomba. Stitch will take a turret on the bot lane. Kid Bomba very low, dealing some massive damage though. Able to catch D-Lar. Will shut him down. Soxer though from the side will crash into Kid Bomba. Maybe able to take him down. You are going to see him rush in. Kid Bomba able to escape with 1 HP. Showcasing his mastery over there on the CC. 4-3 so far. Burmese leading the way in terms of kills, but in the mid lane, the narrative may change. Magister expanding that distance with the spatial migration, able to get back to safety, and now focusing on the purple buff.
Wow, so good to see Kid Bomba on the CC, just dancing around the Baxia first skill, couldn't even stun him. Wow, you can rarely. I saw this kind of behavior when Yuzhong, you know, flying in and you kind of like circling him and he can't like touch you, but on the Baxia is very rare to see. Wow, absolutely great follow-up of the first skill, not ultimate, but just first skill with the flicker on the Minotaur, immediately followed up with other CC, and now he's going to probably ultimate here. First skill being popped, only Baxia being ulted, but he's trying to burst down. Him no burst down here, like Guinevere tried to go even further. Probably should just enjoy the Baxia kill, not go for more, but try to go for more and eventually didn't kill Baxia.
Yeah, Stitch able to pick up his first kill though, which means it's going to put him a little bit ahead of Hiko on this carry. Now leading 5,100 to 4,900 for Hiko right behind him. Did pick up the golden staff though and the corrosive scythe. Hiko trying to get those core items. Feather Heaven picked up over there from Stitch alongside the arcane boots and the holy crystal. A lot of magic damage and pin, which should be translated into some massive output as he engages in these 5v5s. But like we said, it's 4-4 on the scoreboard. Burmese Ghouls was able to take that first turtle. Second one has spawned in. Can we see Deuce Volts contest this?
Yeah, they probably, I mean, the Burmese Ghouls is the one who's gonna contest it probably. Guinevere trying to it seems like they're trying to just bait the fight because they're not hitting the turtle, not trying to just like I said with the Lilgun, you remember, like they going for the objectives, and the Deus Vult is kind of baiting for the fight. Ruby's two people ultimate immediately getting follow up with the almost killing on Nana proc the passive, exactly, to be exact, and no good answers from Deus Vult actually might result their Lord kill here.
Yeah, Stitch able to take his second kill of the game. Takes down Hiko, actually, the marksman for the side of Deus Vult, which now is going to give him a massive advantage compared to the marksmans both scaling to that late game. And then I want to kind of put some presence on D-Lar. Some great rotations across the map. He cleared his lane and then went to go join the fight on the turtle, which allowed them to get turret advantage for the side of Burmese Schools, now leading up by one turret and also able to claim that turret for the turtle for the XP boost. Lord has spawned in Burmese Schools at a slight advantage, now leading by 2,000 gold. May be able to clash it out and win these fights. Hiko off to a little bit of a rough start.
Yeah, rough start a little bit, but the carries also can't find the kind of space for a good fight, always being in the range of that ultimate of Ruby and not being able to like kind of dodge with the second skill or the flicker. Kind of should go with the Purify, I guess, but it's too late. Need to work with the flicker now.
Yeah, and you're looking at two Purifies from Stitch and Nico, which would work great when Sawa tries to pop up that Minoan Fury, but with them on cooldown, could see a possible set on the way. Aggro from the Lord has been pulled, sitting at 50% HP. Kit Bomba rotating around, having some good zonage, trying to keep the side of Burmese Schools at bay, but it looks like they may be able to take this Lord. You're looking at a concealed play called out, though. Saksa winding up side of the wheel, trying to find somebody to crash into. Double set with the I'm Offended, catching two members of Deus Vult. Big knock-up, though, on the way from the Minoan Fury. Burmese Schools trying to hold out, but Dylan, some massive blows. You're going to see Deus Vult rushing in for the kill. Hiko finds D-Lar, gets another, takes down Blink. A 2-for-none trade. Make that buy 3, get 0 deaths, as he's going to be able to take all 3 of them down for the triple kill. And we were wondering how Hiko would kind of play into this. Off to a little bit of a rough start, but now able to find his proper footing. Great way to be able to take this Lord, but little to no contest. And now Deus Vult may be able to have the lead for this match.
Like, Magister didn't even ult on the Guinevere. He just, like, Minotaur kind of went in. He kind of forced to use his ultimate because he gonna dodge all of the CC, and he did. And the Guinevere at the same time jumped on the different direction just to save up and didn't even do anything in the fight. All of these kills went to Carry and the CC, basically, and the Nana.
Yeah, and now with this Lord, you're maybe able to see Deus Vult claim some more of these turrets. They are now leading up by 1, able to take the tier 1 turret in the mid lane, which means now they have the opportunity to invade the orange and purple buffs with little to no contest from Burmese Schools, force them a little bit further back in their jungle. And you are going to see Kit Bomba. Great rotation around. We'll be able to proxy off this lane, take the tier 2 turret on the top side, and now a siege for the tier 2 in the mid.
Yeah, tier 2 Lord is being crushed pretty fast, and the second wave of minions on the mid lane probably gonna result the tier 2 tower, but the Deus Vult actually enjoying like 3 towers, and that's gonna be the Lord. Called for good Lord, I guess.
Yeah, you are gonna see that tier 2 cleared in the mid lane. Now Burmese Schools sitting in their base with only the inhibitors to protect them from that base crystal being bursted down from the side of Deus Vult. Deus Vult, like you said, 2 M-Series talents, able to place a little bit higher in M5 over Burmese Schools, losing to Blacklist and placing 4th place, showing that they've definitely been practicing since the World Tournament. Burmese Schools, though, can't count them out just yet. Definitely have a shot. It's only 5 to 7. They're only down by 2 in terms of kills, but in terms of gold, you're looking at a 3,000 gold lead for the side of Deus Vult.
Yeah, and the map control just rotate back to Burmese Schools. They kind of, Deus Vult kind of didn't want to presence here on the enemy side of map and just went back, let Burmese Schools go out, probably, maybe for next their attack.
Yeah, and you're looking at the item showcased on the board so far. Nana, Sunset Lover, even though he's not high in kills, he has some massive magic damage. Has the Genius Wand, also stacked up the Divine Glaive for some of that additional late pin. You're looking at some good ground control. Deus Vult playing very comfortably, but they are going to lose that bot side. Nobody there to kind of fend off those minions. Kid Bomba trying to get there in time, but it will fall. There will be another turret into the hands of Burmese schools, and now currently still down by 3. They still need to find a way to equalize this economy. When it comes to the 5v5 engagement, we've seen Deuce Volts able to kind of win it out. Hiko pulling off that massive triple kill and also allowing them to get the Lord has definitely turned this back around in their favor. But can they maintain this lead, or will we see Burmese schools find a way to disrupt their synergy?
Yeah, and the Nana having this James Bond stats, gonna try to, I don't know, get some kills probably in the next fight. Nathan here with Ruby trying to maybe pick some random kills on the other side of map of the Lord, knowing that the whole team of Deuce Volt are probably gonna get for the Lord here. I mean, I don't know, that's a kind of weird decision, and they might find carry here, which spot them immediately, even pop the ultimate for additional movement speed, just to keep herself safe and running into the Lord.
Just look at Kid Bomba with the mobility over there with the CC, pressuring D-Lar and Soxa from even being able to enter the Lord Pit, providing some great vision for the side of Deuce Volts right there.
As well.
Yeah, and the damage is there, definitely being a problem. He just picked up that Athena shield too. Looks like he was a little bit worried about Nico, possibly Stitch as well, dealing some massive damage. But now, able to kind of frontline, provide the vision, and keep Burmese schools from entering the Lord Pit seems to be his primary objective. But it's a battle of patience, right? Both teams trying to bait out some utility to be able to engage and take this neutral objective.
Yeah, just like I saw, like you can clearly see what I meant by the why Lilgun is going for the 50-50 Lord. Like, see, Deuce Volt don't want to go towards the 50-50 Lord. They bait in enemy to attack the enemy and only then taking the Lord. That's exactly what I was asking. Like, why do you want to go for these fights?
Speaking of fights, Kid Bomba now taking a little bit of damage, sitting at about 75% HP. Entropy being activated by Stitch a little early, not inside of the Lord Pit though. Magister will claim the Lord for Deuce Volts, and now going to go in for the punish knockup with the Minoan Fury. Going to go ahead and get Soxa airborne. Not going to be able to get the kill. Hiko, though, will take down D-Lar. One member falling from the side of Burmese schools, and also a Lord into the hands for Deuce Volts.
And Minotaur couldn't, he used first skill plus flicker, but he couldn't press ult right immediately, and he got stunned, and only then he ulted. If he just spammed the ultimate, it would resulted probably more kills at this point.
Yeah, now with this Luminous Lord make his way on the top side, Deuce Volt's in a great position to be able to open up the base from Burmese School. They only have their inhibitors to really go through. We're sitting at that 15-minute mark, 45,000 gold compared to 41. This is officially the late game, and you are looking at Deuce Volts going to go ahead and sink these lanes. Lord will be making his way on the top side. Will the shields of Burmese schools all the way out from Myanmar be able to hold off the dagger from Russia with Deuce Volts pushing through?
The mid lane is being probably gonna get pushed, and the top lane actually Lord is going to cast his skill on the turret. And when you're trying to catch the Ruby here jumping in, having the second phase of the second skill, baiting ultimate and trying to risky. All three lanes is being pressured, top lane by the Lord and other two lanes by the heroes. Mid lane is fallen already. Ultimate here on Minotaur, but it's super risky. He still gets the ultimate, but stuns no one. Lar can't get his own ultimate decapitate on the Minotaur and try to reverse and take it, and kind of failed a lot. Not the place you want to be here.
Ooh, they're going for the game ender, though. They don't have that much minions, though. 50% on the base crystal. Soxa very low. Kibamba able to get the kill. Maybe able to get another. Pops the Vengeance. Another will fall. Sunset Lever will find Stitch. Pay attention to the base crystal, though. Hiko will find Blink. Blink gets Sawa right before he falls. Hiko takes down Nico. Full wipeout for Burmese skills out from Myanmar's Deuce Volts will claim victorious, only losing Sawo. And will be able to claim the first match of the series today in Group Stage A, off to a great start and showcasing their mastery since the M Series.
Yeah, Deuce Volt show that they have the patience, especially on the objective patience. Like with the first Lord, they just didn't rush the tier 3 turret. They didn't even rush the passive, because the plan was clearly to take Luminous Lord and go with the Lord. And the mid wave not even contested by the Burmese goals, not even trying to defend, and the top side of a match just Lord farmed and all turrets have fallen. But Deus would have this priority on the heroes, which we actually discussed back in the days with them, that you shouldn't go for the crystal, just go for the kills. You're gonna pressure with other minions, and that's absolutely fine. And that's exactly what they do. They don't rush the crystal, they make enemies like kind of do this like suicidal attacks on the minion to try to defend the crystal, and you just kill the minions and attack with more minions just gonna come in soon. And the spawn timer isn't there, they don't spawn that fast.
Yeah, and Kid Bomba off to a really good start too. I mean, he did such a good job over there on that CC. We saw some strong frontline presence, some great itemization, and you can tell he was very comfortable in that entire game, able to kind of zone out a lot of the members from the side of Burmese Schools for being able to push into that Lord Pit and open up the opportunity for them to have these massive neutral objectives. But I'll also give credit over to Hiko, right? It didn't look really promising in the beginning for the carry. We saw the Natan just doing a little bit better over there with Stitch. But then after that Lord play, able to get 3 kills in a row, and then they were able to take the Lord off of that focus from Hiko, opened up the opportunity for the side of Deucebolt to turn that around and led to a victory on top of that. Definitely some great execution, and shows you that even when they're behind in the game, they have a chance to turn it around. And now 1-0, possibly match point, may be able to take down Burmese Schools with another 2-0 sweep, which would be the second sweep of the day today. Or do we see Burmese Schools be able to kind of find a strategy and turn this back around in their favor? As we are now looking at some of the highlights that made the story for game 1 today. D-Lar finding Magister. Kid Bomba getting one though, as a response back is going to take down Blink. Just a lot of explosive engagements between both of these World Series competitors, but it led with Deucebolt overall having the slightest advantage. Stitch able to claim a turret, but on the top side, you see the response back. Kid Bomba trying to hold off. Sunset Lover joining the party, though, making up the difference. Down goes D-Lar, but then that's when Soxa rushes in, right? Kid Bomba trying to get away, and he was able to catch him in his tracks and burst him down.
Yeah, insanely good play by Kid Bomba, and there's a flicker first kill from the Minotaur being followed up. And the fights, like, I don't know, it felt like the teams like Deus Wold has some clearly idea of the draft, and they kind of following some kind of a plan, but Burmese Goals felt like they picked just what they wanted to pick. Like, I don't know, at least is it like me feeling that, or you think this way as well?
No, I definitely agree with you. And looking at the match with that Lord being pushed in, this is where we said some heavy presence over there from Kid Bomba. And you are seeing Hiko get that kill, shuts down D-Lar. And this looks like this is possibly winding up for that game ender, as they're able to close it out with those minions through the mid lane, able to pretty much shut down Burmese School on the 5v5 class, not even needing a Lord or the side lanes to pull it off. A good set, though, from Blink as a last-minute save, but not able to hold them off from pushing through the base crystal. And that's when you see the wipeout go into the favor for Deucebolt, shutting down Burmese Schools. MVP going over to the man himself, Sunset Lover. 2-0 on 11 on the Nana. 25% damage dealt. Gold per minute sitting at 433.
A perfect no-death game. Went in from James Bond stats to 2-0-11, which is good. Obviously doing the mage stuff, which is like magic damage pressure and the stuns, with perfect position in this game, and his passive and the flicker helped him to achieve that in this game. Worked super good, and it seems like Burmese Goals didn't have the initiation wasn't there, wasn't enough to kind of like make fast kills on the enemies, even though the carry had no purify, you can basically cash her and kill, but it wasn't the case because of the positioning.
Yeah, and I mean, look at Sunset Lover, just stacked up with the magic damage. Holy Crystal, Divine Glaive, Lightning Truncheon, Echo through the hearts of the Burmese Schools. Definitely showcasing why he got that MVP. 100% team fight participation to top that off. When you're looking at the side of Burmese Schools, though, Stitch definitely had a game plan. 100% of the turret damage went into his hands. Just not enough for Burmese Schools to be able to get that victory. Stepping into round 2, though, we got to see Burmese Schools step it up a notch if they want to have a chance to be able to push forward, or they're going to be tied up with the series that we saw in the last match with Lilgun. So they're definitely going to want to find a way to find the slightest advantage. At least get a victory here would give them a slight advantage over Lilgun, who got a 2-0 sweep. So looking at this series so far, I would say early game pressure did go into the hands of Burmese School. I think they did excellent on executing. But toward that mid game, when we seen Hiko get online, get that triple kill, he was able to kind of pick up the pieces. And he was 0-2 right before that, and then instantly got 3-2 and took a Lord. I think they got to find a way to just continue that pressure onto the back lane and also find a way to keep their rhythm going. When you have that huge advantage, you have to also have a way to maintain it.
Yeah, I don't know. They need to fix the draft. Burmese Gold gotta fix the draft, because it was like either they got absolutely destroyed on the draft, which is like, I don't know, the team of this level should have a wide variety of hero picks on every role, so you should get anything. But it seems like all of heroes being picked are not working together. Like, it's bad with working together. Like, seems like Deus Vult are so much ahead in this department in the game that Burmese Ghosts look kind of like weird in the fights. Like Deus Vult could go like in and like go out, like go in, go out, and they like and they like nervous. They like, whoa, we should fight, we should go back, we should fight, we should go back. And yeah, you shouldn't play like this if you want to win team fight.
Yeah, and I would say it was interesting seeing the Martis in the XP lane. That's not something I see too often. Maybe that could have kind of played into it. We talked about the Martis, a really good jungler, definitely paves the way in the early game. I mean, we've seen it today with a Martis going 9-0 over there for Lilgun, but still not able to claim the victory in the last series. But putting him in the XP lane kind of puts him at a disadvantage. When it gets to the late game, right? I mean, he's not going to be able to kind of keep up to par with some of the other heroes that they could have slotted in place of him. Could that have been the reason that they fell? Definitely a possibility. But overall, like we said, not finding a way to keep that lead that they had in the beginning definitely costed them game number 1. But like we said, guys, it is a best of 3. Burmese Schools has a chance to be able to turn this around. Definitely shout out to everybody out from Myanmar, but you are seeing Deus Volts have a slight advantage, pushing them to match point. And usually you see a lot of teams kind of have a little bit more pressure on their backs when they're at a 1-0 deficit, right? That means that Burmese Schools has to win this one, because if they don't, they have a chance of not making it through Group Stage A.
Yeah, that's extra pressure for the Burmese Ghosts. You don't want to feel if you are there. You need to like, kind of like, if we lose, we lose. Just play the game. Like no pressure. But yeah, I agree with you. I think they are feeling it this way. Like, oh no, we should win the game, guys. And like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I want to see how it kind of plays out. Especially in the next match. I wonder if they're going to still go in for the same strategy. Do they pull the Martis into the XP, or do they go for something that's a little bit more current meta, like a Ruby, like a Lapu Lapu, even a Yuzong, who, funny enough, we haven't really seen too often today. Could be a definite possible answer. We got to see Thomas, though, showcased in today. I haven't actually seen a Thomas in a while on the NA scene, but we have seen like a Terizla pop up here and there for NA. I will say, though, but the Martis, that's definitely a first, and I don't think we'll be able to see that showcasing again from the side of Burmese Schools.
Maybe Terizla. I would love to see Terizla, because I like this like initiation kind of heroes. By the way, rewinding back to our conversation about the meta, initiation is like so important. Initiation, just like the first game of the RQ Hoshi versus Lilgun, it seems like Lilgun have this like core of the 5 heroes that just stack around, and but RQ can like go in, try to initiate. If it fails, go out, go in, go out, go in, go out. And this is like bad when your enemy can rotate freely around you, like go in, go out, go in, go out. Eventually they're gonna successfully initiate the fight, and team is going to follow, and they gonna start the fight with 1 or 2 kills, and that's it. Not what you wanna not what you wanna get if you wanna win the team fight. And the initiation in this meta is a key component, because the defensive play style is working when enemy doing mistakes on the aggression. But what if they don't? What if they don't?
Yeah, it's definitely an excellent point. I mean, it's engage and disengage components that play a big part in these matches, right? Especially like how we saw the Guinevere. I think that's an excellent hero that can kind of do that. You said kind of go in, kind of go out. With the spatial migration, can kind of test the waters, even bait out some utility from the opponents, making them use some of those ultimates prior to the team fights, which is an opener for the side of Deucefolt to be able to punish. And we saw that when they closed that game out, right? Picking up that Minotaur when that Diggy was banned out was huge. Able to get some massive Minoan Furies toward the end game, and nothing to really counteract it. Definitely was a downfall for Burmese Schools. But now jumping into the second draft, we're going to be able to see Deucefolt's have first priority in this one, which means we may see a little bit of a different hero selected on the board. But the Diggy, again, will be banned out. Looks like it's a response to Sawo. Looks like they don't want to see that in action again. So we're going to go ahead and see that Diggy banned out. But again, it opens up the opportunity for a possible Minotaur pickup. And maybe Burmese Schools will be able to pick that up as Deucefolt solidifies that Guinevere.
Yeah, Guinevere first pick, even though last game it was only like 7% damage, it's 1% above Minotaur, but still had a good control on the opponents, and it's still like CC you need to consider when you playing, like you need to like always like, where is Guinevere, if she catch like 5 people, what we gonna do? So it's always the factor, even though it was not that effective last game.
Yeah, and speaking of effective, there goes again the Claude slotted in. Deucefolt looking stronger than ever in this draft, but I do like what Burmese School is doing here, right? They pick up the CC. We saw Kid Bomba on it last time, but this side is going to be on the opposite side of the table. And maybe D-Lar will be able to use it to his advantage. We didn't see the best game, especially over there with the Martis, but again, we predicted it wouldn't kind of be slotted in this time around. The carry, definitely a wise option. Stitch will be able to pick that up, may be able to deal some massive damage. I mean, we saw him on the carry before, dealing some heavy hits, and I think you'll be able to do it again. Now, with these two current lineups, I like the way it's going. You kind of talked about meta, kind of talked about playing into comfortability of the teams, and I believe that's what we're seeing here, but hey, first time seeing it today. Kid Bomba with the Yuzong.
Yuzong, it's insanely strong hero. Why nobody picks it? Just like Tamus, just like a lot of heroes in the game.
Yeah, I like nice, the Yuzong. He provides the mobility, the lifesteal. I mean, he can drop down, especially when there's a carry on the playing field. Normally, I like to get a Brody to go against him because you can use that corrosive strike, get the stun, kick back with the flicker. Because Yuzong loves to close the distance on the back line. He's definitely going to be focusing on Stitch.
And I have a question after the draft going on. So the Claude is being picked right after carry, right? And the Yuzong being picked right after CC. Are they going to like kind of counter them on the lanes? Is it like the counter picks?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like Yuzong has great mobility when it comes to the Black Dragon, and then he also has the Furious Dive, a little bit of that leap as well to work in his favor. But D-Lar, I mean, you know, on the CC, it's a very mobile XP laner. I mean, we got to see Kid Bomba pretty much zoning out the entire team of Burmese Schools, and had a really easy time getting these neutral objectives. So I will say that mobility-wise, they're kind of on par with each other. I think when the Black Dragon comes out, it'll be a little bit faster than the CC, but when the Black Dragon's not in effect, that's when you'll see D-Lar kind of shine. But when it comes to focusing onto the back lane, onto those backline targets such as the marksman with carry or the mage that's going to be slotted for Burmese Schools, I think that's where Yuzong's going to do a little bit better. We are seeing the Martis though. He does have the motor course for the anti-CC, and we know he can kind of rack up those kills in the early phase. Hopefully though, like we said, this should be a jungle Martis this time around though, not the XP lane since the CC has been picked up. And we'll give Burmese Schools a slightly easier chance possibly taking these neutral objectives.
Yeah, we'll see additional drafts is banning Aurora actually, that we kind of wanted to see but didn't saw yet, but I guess in this tournament we will eventually see it. And Novaria and the Matilda is being banned as well. Novaria, yeah, that's a hero, like, but you know, it need to be played good, not only in terms of the personal player who picking it, but also with the team, because when you ult, your team kind of need to react for your ultimate, because a lot of times we can see like Novaria ult and everybody like, okay, we can see the enemies, and that's it. And they should use these improved hitboxes which heroes gets to their advantage, and that's what we saw from RRQ.
Speaking of advantage, this is going to be the first Valentina that we have seen picked up today. And it is a possible ultimate that she can use at her disposal, which will be the Black Dragon. If she does want to hover around, give some zonage. Also can use that as an escape mechanism when things get a little tricky. Does have the Violet Requiem over there from the Guinevere if necessary for some group CC. I wouldn't say it's the best ultimates on the board, but definitely some that she can make use of so far. And we still haven't even seen the Roam slotted up for Deuce Fultz. I mean, when we're looking at the ban so far, a couple of supports got taken off the table. The Mathilda's gone, the Kaj is gone, but they're going to go in for some additional CC. Another first showcasing for today, as they are going to go ahead and lock up that Grok.
And the Valentina is there, just like you mentioned. It's a factor, because now if you pick like Minotaur, if you pick Grok, she gonna take this big ultimate, and she might even use it even better than you. So it's a factor. It's obviously big. And,
and speaking of things, we need to see the Roamer slotted in for Burmese Schools too. I wonder where this is gonna go. I mean, looking at what we still have on the table, I would say they need a little bit more additional CC. I guess you can go for support if you really want to, but I don't feel like Martis is tanky enough to be able to provide the CC needed in the frontline position. Diggy was banned out, so the Minotaur is going to get slotted in. Definitely going to be a wise decision. I was going to say, hey, there's no reason not to take this here. The group CC will be able to work in their disposal, but there is that disengage effect that you kind of talked about, going in, going out, that I think is going to work well for Deuce Fultz, especially with the Guinevere with the Spatial Migration, the Yuzong with the Black Dragon, and the Claude with the Battle Mirror Image.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I was thinking about, like, Minotaur, are they going to pick Minotaur? But there's, like, 4 heroes who can dodge the ultimate, basically. 4 heroes. Like, Claude can easily react to the pam, like, and the Yuzong can pop the Black Dragon form and dodge, like, the counter attack the initiation. The Grok, obviously, and the Guinevere, like, 2 of the skills can, like, dodge the ultimate. So it's pretty much only Vixana he can 100% ult on, and I don't know. So yeah, I was thinking about Minotaur, but there's a factor, like, it's hard to initiate on heroes.
Yeah, and speaking of
so maybe even Franco.
Jumping into Land of Dawn Virtual Arena, here we go. Deuce Fultz up against Burmese Schools, round number 2 for the Games of the Future 2024. Will we be able to see Deuce Fultz push forward and get the 2-0 sweep? Or will we see Burmese Schools even out this series 1-2-1? Definitely let us know what you guys think about it, but we are jumping into the Land of Dawn, and there can only be one victor in today's match.
Yeah, and immediately here we can see why Yuzong is being picked after after CC, because Kid Bomba definitely knows something in terms of how to counter play on the lane, and immediately Blink is going to X-Plane to kind of like secure the safety of the CC probably, and yeah,
you're seeing double Impure Rage picked up from Magister. Sunset Lover will be able to deal some additional magic damage as this game goes on. On the opposite side of the table, though, you're seeing Nico pick up the Impure Rage, and Saksa, interesting enough, we'll pick that up on the Martis. We did see a Martis run a Concussive Blast, but this time around, since he is in the jungle, looks like he's going in more for the damage. But her early rotation so far from Deuce Fultz looks like the Guinevere will be in the jungle this time. We want to kind of see how this plays into effect, but there's some decent CC so far for the side of Deuce Fultz.
And the lane is being controlled by the Kid Bomba here, but way too far is going Magister on the Guinevere and gets picked off, and it might resolve the early turtle, and as well the second ultimate on the Martis decapitate even more person. Kind of way too aggressive plays by the Dios Wolf now, forcing them to play from behind.
Yeah, and you got to be careful when that Martis is on the table. He loves taking the early aggression, especially with the decimation and getting that level 4 within that first 2 minutes. And there you go, already up 2-0, opening up the opportunity for Saksa to be able to take this turtle with no contest. But you are seeing Kid Bomba trying to fight it out. The Terrify goes down from Sunset Lover on the D-Lar, but now the Shaw Essence activated, not able to keep him alive. D-Lar will be able to secure the kill. 3-kill lead for the side of Burmese Schools, and the battle on the top side on the way. Hiko very low, and Blink there for a possible setup if he tries to overextend.
Yeah, and now Dilar getting his snowball into the game, and the Magister not going for, nobody goes for the lane. Lane is just being melted by the turret, which absolutely bad thing to happen in these kind of games, because there are almost 2k gold advantage already, and just because of the bottom lane, which is not being farmed by no one. Like Rixana tried to go for the bot lane, but being zoned out by the Sisi and the Yuzhong as well. Proc the Sha Essence here, but I guess he cannot zone out anymore, this Sisi, because she got 1 level advantage.
Yeah, definitely gonna have a 1 level advantage, and these folks need to be careful, right? I mean, it's off to a great start from Burmese Schools, but honestly, even in the last match, this is kind of similar, right? Burmese Schools was leading the way in the early game, and these folks was able to find their rhythm and turn it around. So can Burmese Schools maintain this lead? That's where they kind of had a problem last match. Looking at a huge advantage, though, typically we're starting to see the Martis kind of scale a lot better in today's matches when it comes to the early phase. Now, looking at Magister, he's still running the Guinevere, could get some possible decent knockups. He has the spatial migration to be able to kind of test the boundaries on the side of Burmese Schools, but it wasn't really working in his favor, finding his first death, which he is slightly trailing behind inside of the jungle compared to Saksa. Is down by 1 level. Hiko Dale still trying to make up, hasn't fallen yet. He is running this Claude versus the carry on Stitch. Both of them late game damage dealers, and it's really just going to be dependent on how the neutral objectives go for who can scale a little bit better, or if either side can get a gank to the gold lane.
Yeah, but the gank is on Explain, probably being prioritized this time, even though the turtle is on top. On top is being contested by the Claude here with Demon Hunter's Sword, actually is already on, and the Flicker ult on Minotaur gonna stun 2 people, force Magister, which is Guinevere, used his ultimate defensively just to dodge the airborne effect, and the turtle being farmed, and both teams are disengaged, but it feels like Deus Wolf is not slightly behind anymore.
Yeah, you already see Burmese Schools, some excellent execution right there. A battle of patience. Blink with a great flicker in Mino and Fury for the setup to allow Saksa to be able to take that turtle. Looked like they were not going to be able to get it, and then at the last second, with the battle of patience and mastery, they're able to pull it off, extending their lead, like you mentioned, now up by 3,000 gold. But Saksa extending a mile away with the decimation. Is able to get one. Stitch gets another. Magister finds Stitch to respond, though. That's going to be a 2-for-1 trade on the top side. 6-1 on the scoreboard. Burmese Schools leading the way, but now the 2v1 matchup. Violent Requiem on the Magister. Not going to be able to get away, and Nico, with the power of the IMU, will take him down.
Yeah, and things are starting to look bad for Deus World, especially from Yuzhong. He can't kind of like back into the game because he cannot stand on the lane being farmed, and the Hiko jumping in actually on the bot lane, tried to defend and didn't pop his ultimate, but already lower than half of HP, eventually defend the turret, but it's dangerous to stay on the X plane now. Grok is coming in trying to help Pain with his health, and War Axe is added on the CC. Even more damage is going to be there. 6 minutes into the game only, but already ramping up.
Yeah, but a similar situation, even though Burmese Schools is up by 6 kills, they have a hard time translating this into turrets. They may be able to get the bot side, though. Looks like Sawo is not going to go in for the defensive stance. It's just going to let them take that one, but may be able to find an answer elsewhere, as you are seeing some heavy aggression, spatial migration going out from Magister. But again, Deucefolds finding a hard time engaging in these objectives and team fights up against the Burmese Schools for round 2.
Yeah, it's because of the Martis. It's like hard to play on the Martis here, and trying to go straight into the Grok, force him to use ultimate and just to run away, but the Flicker with the follow-up on the damage, first skill slowing down the Guinevere here, but she still catches up, stacking her passive really good, and on top of that ultimate with the airborne effect, but the Flicker ultimate on the Valentina, which stolen from the Grok, insanely good.
Yeah, Stitch will fall. Saksa is going to get one as well. 2-for-1 trade. It's 9-2 right now. 7 kills up for the Burmese Schools, 3,000 gold lead, and 1 turret advantage. But it looks like D-Lar is trying to even this out. Going up against Kidbomba on the top side, though, in the 1v1 matchup. Doing well defending his lane. Do we see Burmese Schools holding this lead, though? They were able to actually translate their kills into a turret this time around, which is where they fell short in the last match. As we are looking at some of the items popping up on the board, looking at the gold difference just from both marksmen. 1,000 gold lead into the hands of Stitch up against Hiko so far. Hiko picking up that Demon Hunter sword. We'll be able to soak into the Minotaur, possibly the Martis as well. But when you're looking at the carry, picking up that golden staff, also has a swift boost from some additional attack speed and the corrosion scythe. We'll be able to deal some slow upon impact when battling it out in these 5v5 engagements.
Oh, and the try to Magister gonna try to catch up, but the absolutely aware, Stitch is absolutely aware of this kind of stuff and just jump bottom side, and the top side is going to be pressured. The last, not last actually, it's only first tower on the bot lane, but the second tower on the top lane is being pressured as well. And yeah, the counter attack here on DLR, airborne effect, is not enough, trying to slow with the first kill on the Grok, and eventually no damage, not enough damage.
Yeah, still unable to find a turret, losing both tier 1 turrets on the top and bot side for the side of Deuce Volts. Stitch able to claim the tier 2. Burmese Ghouls dominating so far in the early game, but Magister may be able to take the mid, falling short, but 1 HP. If they can get that, this may be a turnaround, as that turret will open up the opportunity for Deuce Volts to invade the orange and purple buff and the jungle for the side of Burmese Ghouls with a little bit more security.
Yeah, I just thinking that Valentina is such a huge pick for Burmese Ghouls, because it's almost every time. Okay, later there's the fight here. Carry is forced to use Purify just to run under turret. Black Dragon form is I kind of tried to follow the fight, but fight didn't prolong enough.
Yeah, and you are still seeing that 7 kill lead for the side of Burmese Ghouls. Get Bamba trying to front line, deal some damage, is running this Yuzong. Now, Lord has spawned in. Burmese Ghouls so far has been able to win pretty much every major objective so far. Can they get this turtle, or Lord, will we see Deuce Volts turn this around? I mean, they are overly extending. They don't have any turrets on the top side to really run back to if things do go a little faulty for them, but they're not as scared to take this fight. You see them still wrapping around for a possible setup, Special Migration going in for the knockup on the Soxa, but now the counterplay, the wild charge. Nico will find Magister using Salvo's ultimate against him, and that'll be the jungler down for the side of Deuce Volts and a free Lord to the Burmese Ghouls.
Yeah, Magister here on the Guinevere tried to follow up the first skill of the Vixana, and he did, but it was kind of premature here, because all of the Burmese Ghouls was there to like counter-attack this with the flicker and the stolen stolen Grok ultimate, like just such a big factor of this. And seems like Deuce Volts couldn't adapt their draft on the or underestimated the Valentina here, because it's a big factor. She's gonna steal this big CC and gonna land it just on you.
Yeah, they're gonna have to trust in Hiko for the late game damage now, as we are now at the 10-minute mark. 6,000 gold lead for the Burmese Ghouls, increasing that by 2,000 just within the last 60 seconds. 4-0-2 on Soxa. Highest kills of this game, leading the way with the Martis in the jungle. Highest kills for the side of Deuce Volts will go to Magister. 2-4-0. Down with 4 deaths though, having a little bit of a struggle this time around compared to the last game. Lord making his way on the top side to the inhibitor. 50% HP will get bursted down. And then it looks like Burmese Ghouls will not be able to take the tier 2 turret or the inhibitor as well. Still holding on to the tier 2 for the bot side. Burmese Ghouls having the map advantage.
Yeah, and enjoying just the second turret being farmed here on the bot lane. Probably gonna deft this one. A Mortal Coin being popped just to run away, and the the reflected damage on the Claude is pretty big as well. And still, Burmese Ghouls just like realize they can push it and like to return back just to finish the job up.
Yeah, now the question is, can Burmese Ghouls close this out? We see a lot of teams get to this point and not be able to close the game. Deuce Volts now in a position where they have to defend for their lives. They need to be able to stop Burmese Ghouls from pushing into their base and taking their base crystal and playing to the late game for Hiko to get those core items he's looking for. Already has the Demon Hunter Sword, the Golden Staff, and the Corrosion Scythe. 7,800 gold, slightly behind Stitch, who is 1,000 head. Just picked up the Wind of Nature to negate the physical damage. We are going to be seeing this lore spawn in the next 50 seconds. That's definitely going to be Burmese Ghouls' next major objective to kind of focus in on. They're not going to put pressure, though, onto the side of the jungle for Deuce Volts, which is a little bit interesting. I thought they would have kind of contested their buffs and tried to force them to come out so they could pick them off one by one, but Deuce Volt ready to take the fight to the mid lane.
Yeah, Burmese seems like want to camp this like unorthodox spot, which is like side bush, and to super surprised attack, but nobody is there, but they like AFK on this, because this is actually smart, because if you like having Lord on top, probably one hero is going to split push bot side, right? And they try to pick this hero up, but Deus Wolf seems like understanding that nobody is there on the map, so they probably like can predict this kind of gank.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to go in for a possible Lord push. Does Burmese Schools bait out Deuce Volt? Is this a fight they can take, especially with the 5,000 gold deficit? This could be everything on the line if Deuce Volt tries to even contest this. You are looking at some great zoners, though, from the side of Burmese Schools, and it looks like they will be able to take it. Not the fight Deuce Volt can handle, and they notice it. Sawo, though, will be able to take the mid lane turret, trying to get a trade before this Lord will fall.
Yeah, pretty easy Lord, not even contested by the Deus Volt, because you can easily lose the game straight right here. Trying to wait just additional bit for extra items coming in. Don't care about the enemy items anymore, because they are heavily have a much better farm than them, but yeah, trying to defend this time on the mid lane. Way too far goes the Flood and gets ripped off a little bit and forced to use his second skill to go back.
Yeah, you're starting to see Burmese Schools inch their way up the map to try and close this out. Their lanes are pretty much synced. Bot side a little short possibly, but Burmese Schools may try and find a way to open up the base here, as the Lord is going to crash into the inhibitor for the top side. Deuce Volt on the defense, trying to hold them off from evening out this series. There goes the Lord crashing in. Down goes the inhibitor for the top lane. Kid Bomba taking some massive hits, though. Will be down to 50% HP. Needs to get back. Sox on the chase. Sox are already leading with the highest kills of this game on the Martis in the jungle. Kid Bomba, though, not going to go back for the region. Turns around, use the Soul Grip and the Furious Dive. Will be able to clear out the minions and force Burmese Skills out of their base.
Yeah, pretty good defense, though. I guess Burmese Goals should go for the bottom lane tower at least. I mean, you don't want to like hold it, okay? You don't want to hold the game. You want to get pressure enemy, and if they hold it, kind of like Ballista being farmed. Yeah, nobody pushed. They clearly could went for the bot tower here. They didn't. I don't know, but we'll see. It's too early to judge here.
Yeah, definitely too early to judge. Look at the damage on Blink. Almost shredded him. Melted him like some hot butter on a Sunday morning right there. Deuce Volts. 2-10 though, still behind.
That's Demon Hunter's Sword for you. Against high HP target with low armor.
We kind of talked about it too. The later this game goes, the better it'll be for Hiko, who hasn't found a kill so far. But I mean, just looking at the damage he provided to Blink is looking very promising. And like you said, the later this game goes, once you're past that 45,000 gold mark, I mean, you're into the late game. Everybody's going to have full items available. And you're already seeing right there the Claw, Demon Hunter Sword, Golden Staff, Corrosive Scythe, and the Wind of Nature stacked up with the Malefic Roar. He is ready to take the fight to Burmese Schools' home turf.
And the Valentina with the Grok ultimate is going to be such a big factor, because now they get this double AoE CC here, and it's so hard to play against, even if you're a good player. Every time it's hard to play.
Sawa though will spot out two in the bush. Wild Charge connecting, hitting Blink. Black Dragon from Kid Bomba calls out the play, dives in, gets Blink. Big stun, Furious Dive in, big knockup on the way. Now the focus onto Lord Kid Bomba, very low, able to get out the shot. Essence, Turner Guardian, zoning out the side of Burmese Ghouls, and both teams will disengage. Nobody will fall though.
Yeah, nobody will fall, but it's a good sign for Deus Volt. Actually gonna try to bait the Lord here. First skill going into it to bait some movement out of Saksa, and he's trying to understand what's going on here, and nothing's going on. Deus Volt doing the exact same thing they did last game, trying to bait out the enemies.
Yeah, but Kid Bomba top side, he is going to clear those minions, which means they don't have the numbers, and Burmese Schools does see him up there, so it looks like they are going to try and go for the Lord play, but it looks like Kid Bomba is going to be able to close that distance just in time to be able to take this fight. The question is who will be able to pull this off. Lord at about 30% HP, and Burmese Ghouls pulling the aggro. Deuce Volt's ready for the counterplay, wrapping around Sawo. Will drop that Guardian's Barrier, but the knockup from Blink, but no, and Fury not going to connect, though. Baited out the utility. Kid Bomba with the Black Dragon hovering around. Will use it as an escape mechanism. Gonna battle it out patiently. Realize he's chunked pretty low, but there goes the Lord. 25% HP. Burmese Ghouls having ground control. Another knockup on the way. Kid Bomba in position. Magister will claim it for the Deuce Volt, but can they get away? D-Lar very low. Immortality has been proc. Sunset Lover on the chase. Guardian's Barrier dropped down to block off the tunnel, and Burmese Ghouls will have to push back to their base. Deuce Volt claiming the Lord.
Yeah, and the Retribution game was so on point. Like, Martis, look at this. Pam Pam. Martis Smite, low HP, and the Retribution from the Magister finished them off. But even though Valentina went in with the Grok ultimate to stun Guinevere to not let her Retribution, and but the damage wasn't there. Like, Retribution wasn't enough from the Martis, and the Guinevere went out of stun and just finished off the Lord, and now the counter attack.
Yeah, the counterplay. Deuce Volt's finding the opportunity they were looking for, found the needle in the haystack, and now all they have to do is pull it out. They are going for a possible game ender to close out this series with the 2-0 sweep. They do have the Lord, but they don't have minions on the side lanes, and it will be bursted down by the side of Burmese Ghouls. Do they maintain the pressure, though, or do they pull back and take this fight again for the next neutral objective? They are going in for the clash. Kid Bomba, is this the play? Is this the move? Black Dragon's in to allow them to take the inhibitor for the bot side.
Yeah, kind of like showing the Burmese Ghouls how you should go for the objectives, not like enjoying just like only one turret when you can push all three of them and end the game. And now they get what they asked for. Now it's like a late game, even gold, and yeah, equalized.
Yeah, it has been equalized, even though it's 2 kills for Deuce Volts, and it's still an even game. Like I said, now it's the late game. It's just going to boil down to who can kind of execute a little bit better in the 5v5 engagements, and who will kind of step out of position first and make the mistake. Now, looking at Deuce Volts, the damage from Hiko is definitely there. Kid Bomba doing great on opening up with this Black Dragon. Sunset Lover, good spatial migrations in to be able to bait out some utility and also take some neutral objectives. Was able to steal that Lord, which kind of helped them turn this game around. But the question is, how long can they maintain this, right? I mean, even when you see Kid Bomba rushing with the Black Dragon, he's taking some serious blows from Stitch over there on the carry, and it's keeping him from being able to engage how he would like to. But speaking of engagement, big no fear for the big knockup. Sunset Lover is going to find Stitch. Marksman will fall for the side of Burmese Ghouls. That is huge. Without the Marksman, they can push, they can end, and they see the opportunity. Conceal play called in. The Petrify, the knockup with the Furious Dive over there from Kid Bomba. Raising the banners for Russia, leading the way for Deuce Volts, trying to close out this game 2-0. Hiko will take down D-Lar, though. 2-for-none trade. Nico will find Hiko. He also just didn't fight it out, though. Sawo in a great position, winding up with Power Nature. Saksa will find Kid Bomba. That is going to be a 2-for-2 trade. And Deuce Volts forced out of the base for the Burmese Ghouls.
Yeah, it's not that a good trade-off, actually. They might went for the safe Lord, and now they are again even. Actually, not that even, because first Hero Stitch is going to respawn kind of earlier. So Burmese Ghouls might go for the 4 versus 3 Lord here. Might at least try for that. But yeah, Nico find Hiko. Yeah, that's exactly what happened here. And kind of overextension here. Those Wolves should enjoy probably 1 or 2 kills and went for Lord, but you never know. Like, if you would know the future.
Yeah, now that's going to put Burmese Ghouls in a great position for a possible contest, but a knockup. Immortality being proc. Nico very low. Minnow Fury is going to go out. Sunset Lever takes out Nico. 1 river falling for the Burmese Ghouls. Lord at about 40% HP. And Deuce Volt's taking it to the Lord pit. Ready to contest. All members have been spawned in. Kid Bomba making his way through the mid-river, trying to close the distance. Does have the Black Dragon. Is going to call it in. Watch Kid Bomba hovering around. Gonna drop down, but a Furious Dive goes for Stitch. Straight to the back line. Able to catch him. Furious Dive, Soul Grip, able to connect with the nature though, negating the physical damage. Immortality's been proc. Kid Bomba now on the return, trying to win a Ray. Does get caught. Blink getting a kill. Magister will get the Lord for Deuce Volts, but they don't have their XP lane. No problem though. They have Hiko to possibly be able to end this, and they have the numbers 4, 2, 3. Lord may not even be able to get there in time, as you are looking at Deuce Volts, heavily aggressive, trying to close this out. One victory away from getting their first 2-0 sweep in Group Stage A. Up against the Burmese Ghouls, and here it goes. Guardians Berry dropping down, trying to zone out the team for Burmese Ghouls. Do they get the game ender? Massive damage on the D-Lar. Look at the base crystal. 1%. Deuce Volts has done it.
For the drone.
Shut down Myanmar, the Burmese Ghouls, and claim victory, a 2-0 sweep. Their first series in Group Stage A of Game of Futures 2024.
Oh, the revenge. The revenge for M2, I guess, group stage. Just happened to be there, but yeah, the difference, like, yeah, we saw some overextension from the Deuce Volt there when they pick up the gold laner on the top side of map and try to end the game straight away. It was kind of like way too overextended, but that's exactly what Burmese Ghouls was missing to actually win the game. When they went with the second Lord, they definitely should went way more aggressive, not enjoying only one turret. They should take all of 3 and try to end the game. Instead, they enjoyed one turret and go back, and I said that, like I've called it. Like, you don't want to play like that. You really want to squeeze all the juices that you can.
Yeah, definitely got to give credits over there to Deuce Volt, able to somehow turn around a 2-10 deficit. That entire game they were on the back end, that was over a 20-minute match, and somehow able to turn it around in the blink of an eye. Definitely shows you that even when their backs are against the wall, that's kind of when they shine the most, and able to pull off that victory with a 2-0 sweep. Not too many teams can pull that off, and definitely congratulations on winning your first series victory. Now, Burmese Ghouls still have another chance. They are currently tied up with Team Lilgun, who did lose in their match as well, up against RQ Hoshi in another 2-0 sweep. Like we said, only one team will be able to make it out of Group Stage A, and so far you are looking at Deuce Volts looking very promising, able to claim that victory, and also RQ Hoshi all the way out from Indonesia.
Yeah, 2-0. What can you add? Like both, but I think the Burmese Ghouls match in comparison to Deuce Volt, Deuce Volt and Burmese in comparison to Lilgun versus RQ Hoshi was a little bit closer, like in terms of the skill. Felt like RQ Hoshi are like steps ahead of Lilgun, but in this case it was like slight advantage of Deuce Volt in terms of macro understanding and where to go and where to not to go and how far. Yeah, so I felt it this way. What do you think about it?
Definitely. I mean, I feel like Burmese Ghouls needed to close it out when they had that advantage, and we talked about teams having a trouble even when you're so far ahead, not finding a way to kind of pierce through the hearts into the base crystal, and that kind of bit them on the backside. And Deuce Volts was able to seize that opportunity from them not being able to end it early, waited to the late game and was able to close it out, as you are seeing that battle on the way. I mean, look at that. It was a 1-8. Deuce Volts definitely having a hard time. And you were seeing Burmese Ghouls just trailing so far ahead for majority of this game. Usually it's around a 2,000, 3,000 gold lead. It even got extended to like 5K at one point. But Deuce Volts again, just being patient. And Hiko, I got to give him credit. Didn't die too many times. Just kind of played passive, waited to get all those core items, and then he was ready to strike. Kid Bomba frontlining a lot of that damage. I mean, look at him right there. 15% HP, goes back, gets a little bit of that regen from the Shaw Essence, and ready to take the fight again with the Black Dragon hovering around. There was one moment when we saw Kid Bomba just go completely across the map trying to catch Stitch out of position on a Lord play. Magister, though, speaking of Lord play, that's where they got the steal. Deuce Volts was able to get it with the spatial migration, and this is where they turned the game around.
And here the wall, if he just placed the wall a little bit further, it's probably would be a kill on the CC as well.
Yeah, definitely have to pay attention to these objectives, especially when it gets to late game.
You saw the amount of HP reflected on Hiko, sorry.
Yeah, massive. And you are going to see, speaking of massive things, this is where they try and close it out. try and be overly aggressive, but have to push back Burmese Schools with some great defense, but a little bit of an early recall spam not working in their favor. The later this game went. D-Lar with the immortality proc. This is where the chase goes. Look at Kibamba. Look at Stitch.
But
look at the target prioritization. He did, and then he used the Wind of Nature, forced out the immortality, and they were able to take him down. And that was Blink who did get that kill on top of that. But nonetheless, it opened up the opportunity for Deuce Volts to be able to take that Lord and close out that game. And there you have it. Sunset Lover, more than any other, able to get the MVP 4-0-1.
I absolutely agree with this one. I just wanted to address the Vixana plays here, like with perfect positioning both of the games. Perfect positioning. It's not way far away, it's not too close, it's right where it needs to be. And there was some slight mistakes which was covered by the flicker, and that's it. Like, so I would love to address the Sunset Lover gameplay. Insane positioning with like low mobility hero. I repeat, low mobility hero Nana and Vixana, like low mobility. One mistake and you're dead basically. Which with like a lot of CC, a lot of heroes who can close the distance easily and stun you. He plays with like 0 death both of the games, with almost highest damage in the game, and this game almost 40%. Every time following up his teammates with CC.
Yeah, definitely some great gameplay toward the end of today's match for the side of Deuce Volts. A little shaky in the beginning, but they were able to find the resolve and follow through for a 2-0 sweep up against the Burmese Ghouls. And like we said, this just happens from practice, synergy, and also knowing how to kind of play under a hyper-focused, pressured environment. And Deuce Volts performed. They did really well, and I look forward to seeing them progress in Group Stage A. But now, having a huge advantage with a 2-0 sweep is going to tie them with RRQ Hoshi. That's going to put Team Lilgun and also their opponent losing that one for that match, Burmese Ghouls, in the last position so far for Group Stage A. And only 3 are going to make it out of there. So Burmese Ghouls, Team Lilgun, I can't wait to see how these two teams do progressing forward. But so far from what we've seen, it's looking pretty promising, at least for Deuce Volts and RRQ Hoshi out of Indonesia.
Yeah, super good games, both of the teams. Just like you asked, the meta was there, like meta fights, kinda. Like first game, Burmese Ghouls didn't like work at all, the draft, but the second game was insanely good, and that's not the draft this time. It's like understanding of where to go and where not to go.
Yeah, and speaking of that, just to kind of put some emphasis on what these teams are competing for, guys. It's $1 million cash prize to be able to close this game out, right? Or close out this match. And honestly, that's a lot on the line. This is the biggest prize pool that we've had in the MLBB scene. You have a lot of casters that you'll be seeing throughout the Game of Futures event as well, from all different regions. Like I said, you got me from North America, NACT, and then you also got War Barbie all the way out from Ukraine as well. Definitely 2 totally different sides of the world, able to kind of be able to enjoy today's matches with you guys inside of the chat. And honestly, it's been a pleasure being able to watch these games. There's still a lot of great matches going on. Like we said, Deuce Volts able to make it a little bit more forward, which I'm kind of going to expect them to walk to the next phase of this, especially with the 2-0 sweep. That's a really good start. Now, Burmese Ghouls, I got to see where they go. I feel like their drafting was okay. Their early game was decent. But their game-ending closing procedures on the way they could close these games out when they have the match advantage is where they're kind of lacking. When it came to Team Lilgun, I felt like it was a little different. They were not able to kind of keep up with the play style, at least from the Indonesian team, RQ Hoshi, when it came to the high mobility on the Benedetta, and also Skylar rotating around with his marksmen, such as that Claude. It looked like the side lanes were just a little bit more synchronized to be able to get to those neutral objectives in time and create that opportunity. So hopefully these teams can kind of fill these gaps up as they progress in the Group Stage A. But nonetheless, we definitely have some great matches ahead of us.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I'm waiting for them, but this time I'm gonna just spectator, just gonna spectate them and enjoy the matches. But yeah, these so far matches are great. You can clearly see the differences with like the skill and the understanding of the heroes. Like Deuce Volts, a stronger point is understanding when to go and when to retreat, and kind of like all team understands it pretty good. I would say maybe Kid Bomba a little bit sometimes goes in when he shouldn't, but otherwise is pretty good. And but this first game, yeah, I like the first game because RRQ looks like they on a different level of gameplay in terms of efficiency, like their movement, their farmability, like how fast are they, it's unmatchable. Like they are a couple steps ahead already. You can't read them because it's so fast, it happens so fast. You kill there, you want to push, there is nothing to push. You already lane is closed because of the Lancelot, and they just split, farm, split, and Lilgun like just like slowly like realizing that they being overwhelmed by this action.
And speaking of overwhelming things, as we look a little bit further in today's matches, we're going to have a winner's match and an elimination match for Group Stage A now. Winner's match is going to be RQ Hoshi, who did take down Team Lilgun, and they're going to be going up against Deuce Volts, who we just watched take down the Burmese Schools. So let me know what you guys think about those matches. It will be, again, another amazing best of 3. And then the elimination match is going to be Lilgun up against Burmese Schools. Well, only one team will be able to make it out of that. Lilgun, like we said, having a hard time keeping up with the rotations over there from RQ Hoshi. And Burmese Schools, good at rotating, great early game, but just a little bit of lacking in synergy from closing these games out. But will it be Lilgun pushing forward, or will we see the team all the way out from Myanmar be able to take that victory with the Burmese Schools?
I don't know. Both matches, I'm waiting for the RRQ Hoshi versus Deuce Wolf. Like that's gonna be so interesting. It's gonna be like just like you said, this one game is going to be more like draft dependent. I feel like half of the game, or even bigger part, is going to be decided by the draft, and more than another games. And the Burmese Goals and Lilgun is going to who brings the better meta, I feel like, because Goals are, in my opinion, I mean, felt like they are not that big of a tempo as RQ Hoshi, and the strategy with Varaz's test might work against them, so they might try it again. I don't know, it's hard to predict.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to predict, but I will say you are looking at Indonesia, which is a really strong meta pool. Definitely one of the hardest regions to go against, especially, you know, with them stacked against the Philippines. Definitely 2 top respective regions, usually above everybody else. But to see Deuce Volts performing, like I said, this is one of those teams that just continues to shock the world with how good they are. Like I said, they placed 4th in the M Series, and now may have a chance to be able to close this game out. So guys, enjoyed spending our time with you today. For those who don't know, my name is Steph Weezy. I am an NACT caster, and hopefully I get to catch you guys on some more future games. But we will be switching desks here momentarily, so I just want to kind of close out and say thank you to everybody that's been tuning into the stream. Shout out to everybody from the NA region too, representing. I'm glad to be able to be a part of this show and to be able to cast alongside War Barbie on top of that for today's amazing matches.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure for me as well. The great casting and the great games. It's so good to cast good games with the good casters. Good, interesting games. It's like there are some games when you need to like feel like, okay, the minions are fighting on the lanes, like the purple buff is standing there in the jungle. It's not like that. It's so active and it's so fast, and a lot of things are happening in interesting stuff. Teams are trying to be in their best versions of themselves, and yeah, it's always great.
Yeah, it's always great to see the way prospective regions kind of shift their meta. As we do get the other teams prepared, though, guys, like we said, some spicy matches are going to be ahead of us. Appreciate War Barbie, all the way from Ukraine, stepping up into the scene and providing that amazing commentary for these castings. Myself as well, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the Game of Futures. Biggest prize pool in Mobile Legends ever, with $1 million on the line. So definitely make sure you guys catch the next matches for the winners match and also the elimination for Group Stage A. But me and War Barbie, we'll be signing out, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Гармония – мощнейшая энергия созидания, способная объединять народы, вселенные и сохранять баланс мироздания. С развитием технологий люди стали больше погружаться в виртуальные миры, забывая про мир физический, обрекая гармонию на угасание. Чтобы восстановить баланс, гармония переродилась жар птицы мира отправилась сквозь вселенные в поисках героев, способных вернуть утраченную энергию. Избрав 5 сильнейших представителей, Мира собрала их у Куба Советов, наделив их уникальной силой. Они стали хранителями гармонии, чья задача — охранять и поддерживать баланс. Советом было принято решение провести турнир, победитель которого распространит гармонию по свету. Для этой цели Куб преобразовал частицу гармонии во флейм, древний артефакт для сбора энергии. Хранителями было выбрано место для проведения турнира — город с самым сильным соприкосновением энергии. Именно здесь миллионы зрителей и сильнейшие атлеты примут участие в величайших играх всех времен, чтобы определить достойнейших и восстановить баланс миров. Да начнутся игры будущего! Мощнейшая энергия созидания, способная объединять народы, вселенные и сохранять баланс мироздания. С развитием технологий люди стали больше погружаться в виртуальные миры, забывая про мир физический, обрекая гармонию на угасание. Чтобы восстановить баланс, гармония переродилась жар птицы мира отправилась сквозь вселенные в поисках героев, способных вернуть утраченную энергию. Избрав 5 сильнейших представителей, Мира собрала их у Куба Советов, наделив их уникальной силой. Они стали хранителями гармонии, чья задача — охранять и поддерживать баланс. Советом было принято решение провести турнир, победитель которого распространит гармонию по свету. Для этой цели Куб преобразовал частицу гармонии во флейм, древний артефакт для сбора энергии. Хранителями было выбрано место для проведения турнира — город с самым сильным соприкосновением энергии. Именно здесь миллионы зрителей и сильнейшие атлеты примут участие в величайших играх всех времен, чтобы определить достойнейших и восстановить баланс миров. Да начнутся игры будущего!
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Group C of the Games of the Future. I am G the Ico. Alongside me, I have War Barbie. How you feeling, War Barbie?
I'm pretty good. Feeling pretty good, waiting for the games. Like, first two games was extremely good, and I'm waiting for next one.
Hey, true. You're coming back to cast alongside me. You just witnessed some crazy games in Group A, right? We've seen a little bit of Deuce Vaults, RRQ, Hoshi, Burmese Ghouls, and Team Lilgun go at it. Kind of looking at what's going down here. In Group A, we see that Deuce Vaults moves on, and we see that RRQ Hoshi moves on. In Group B, we're seeing AP Bryn winning there, as well as Twisted Minds. So we got a lot of good games. Both of those look like they were 2-0. So crazy games in Group A and Group B, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I kind of couldn't enjoy the Group B games. I can only watch the results, but I bet there was a good games as well. But this time we're gonna see the RCC versus Nightmare.
Yeah, we got some good games coming up. Nightmare Esports versus RCC. I can't wait to see them go. I think Nightmare Esports is not. I'm not too familiar with them. Are they kind of new on the scene?
They was participating in M5 from the Laos. This is team, as far as I know, and they are quite good as well.
Okay, well, yeah, true. As I can see, they kind of finished around the 17th to 18th place in M5. So I want to see what they can bring to this fight here against RCC from Russia, if I'm not mistaken. So a little bit of a home field advantage that is going to be taking place in Group C. But there's also going to be a lot of good games coming later as well. I think we'll be seeing Blacklist International as well as a few other maybe Fireflux Esports as well. So I can't wait to see those games. I was kind of watching a little bit, in the background. I had both Group A and B up at the same time, and I was, scoping some things out, and some tide turners in a lot of these games.
Especially, I mean, maybe RRQ Hoshi and Team Lilgun was kind of like one scenario, like RRQ Hoshi just wait a little bit wait, and the strong point of Team Lilgun passes off, and the mid-late game they start to act, and the same scenario, and they come back as well in the next games.
Yeah, the comebacks were crazy. I mean, no matter what I've seen, it was leaning left and right. One was winning over the other, and then there would just be a flick of a switch, and the other team, I mean, RRQ was just, and once it met that late game, it was GG's. They kind of again, like I said, flipped that switch and kept it going. So it was wild to see that. Kind of looking on to moving on to Nightmare Esports, though. We can kind of see some of these players here, War Barbie.
Yeah, not much to say there. I'm interested in pool of these players actually, like how many heroes on their roles they can bring up on the highest level. That's the secret for me.
Yeah, are most of these players, they're actually coming from M5, right? Like a lot of them, there's not too many subs that are happening here. We do see RCC here, a formidable foe as well. I mean, what did they finish here? They actually didn't compete in M5, so they're coming up in a $1 million prize pool tournament, and this is their time to shine.
Yeah, this is definitely the time to shine. First game in the tournament for them. They need to let everybody know that they are on the field with the victory on the nightmare, hopefully for them.
Hey, they're going to be bringing the nightmare to nightmare, right? Let's see if they can, show us what we've seen from the last group, right? Ark, Yohoshi being able to turn tides. And then Team Lilgun having a little bit of a struggle, and so did Burmese Ghouls, but Deuce Volts showed that even though they're behind, they can turn tides as well. So I want to see that coming up in this game as well. What are some of your takes on these teams? Do you have anything spicy to throw out? Do you?
Yeah, I played with like 3 players from the RCC back in the days, so there are quite good players, but they have strong points and they have weak points. Like they have some weak points in terms of if they go, for example, like Vizier this thing, when he goes in, he sometimes don't understand when to stop and might to overextend way too far away. We might see this kind of stuff. One Shot is like super versatile player, can play any role, super good, and he's more like of a, I would say, like hyped hero. Like I don't know, not hero, player. He needs to, like, yeah, come on, you're gonna do this, and he gonna like feed up this energy and gonna play really good. And the Kupi is good strategic player as well, but sometimes gets frustrated. But so just like any other players, I guess. But
okay.
They're good. They're really good.
All right, so for RCC, we got to look out for a little bit of maybe greediness from them, and see what they can bring to the field. I mean, we got to watch out for that, because we've seen quite a few matches. It did look like Team Lilgun was getting a little bit too greedy. I've seen a couple plays that were a little questionable in some of the last games that kind of just, again, turned the tides, and that's what I want to see here. Can RCC, bring something to the playing field? Again, they got a little bit of a home field advantage that I would say against the team like Nightmare. If I'm not mistaken, they are from Laos. I hope I'm saying that right. Laos.
Yeah, I hope as well.
Yeah. So I mean,
Laos.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a region thing there. So I'm hoping that they bring some fight into this. That we'll have a good game.
I want to add about 2 other players which stepped up in the team, which is Castle and Troublemaker. I was actually not playing with them, but coaching them in the later stages. But Castle is extremely good explainer. He's like, he's playing with like a good spirit. I like this kind of gameplay. He tries to win the lane instead of just like farm it. He super active and he goes for the kills a lot, and the Troublemaker has the same mentality on the mid lane. He has the unorthodox picks on the mid lane, which is Gushen with a Petrify. He played on a wild card M2, super good with it, showed a lot with it, eventually almost winning the wild card, losing like almost in the later stages. And these 2 players might carry the game, hold the game.
Okay, and they were from Umbrella, right?
Yeah.
They were like the second. Were they from Mongolia as well? If I'm not mistaken, they were like the competitors against Lilgun and
yeah.
Five,
They
like they were like
against Lilgun.
runner up. Yeah. So,
runner-up of their group, but they lost to Lilgun, and then Lilgun played versus Team SMG, and SMG won and won the wild card.
So RCC actually has some heavy hitters in there that you know have that experience that they can bring to the Land of Dawn. So that's going to be something that we definitely want to watch out for. Watch out for Castle. Watch out for Troublemaker. Let's see what they can bring for the side of Nightmare. Again, I mean they've kind of just they competed at M5. Again, they lost to Team Little Gun, which Team Little Gun isn't in their group stage, so they got something to show here. You know, this is a new meta. Things have been changing up and swapping around. We've been seeing a lot of Claude being played on the field. We're kind of getting into the bans and picks here, though. Let's take a gander.
Meanwhile, Bavaria is getting picked for the first pick for Team RCC, and Nightmare Sports respond with immediately Arlot and +1 something. CC, by the way, being banned. Again, like super strong hero in other games. Being picked like every time is a problem hero. And being banned for a reason. And then Nolan, like what do you think about Nolan ban? Even though he got nerfed and now he don't have a Purify in his ultimate, still a dangerous hero being banned here and there.
Yeah, I mean he still has his viabilities onto the playing field. He brings a lot of that backline just peel, you know. He's almost like Lancelot. He's able to get in there, utilize quite a bit of burst, and to be able to get out hopefully in time. So I like the ban. I like the Claw ban. We've been seeing CC pop off in the tournament, but we are seeing some new faces here. We got an Akai and a Paquito.
That's pretty good, Paquito. It's again like you can go with on X-Plane or on jungle, so it's like common things these days for teams do this kind of stuff. I call it like a fork in the draft. Like I don't know why, but because it can go like different directions and you need to guess. I mean, fork is kind of not fitting this, but like whatever. And yeah, this is what might happen right now, because it seems like it's the jungle Paquito, but it might be explained swaps at the last second.
Yeah, I like the mobility that we're seeing from RCC. From Nightmare, we're seeing quite a few of the meta picks coming through, you know, getting the Arlot onto the field, getting the Lilia, as well as pairing up with the Minnow. Definitely a good combo here. We're seeing a lot of control in CC from the side of Nightmare, a little bit of that from RCC. Again, you were saying watch out for Troublemaker. I mean, he's got a mid lane that shines, right? A little bit into the mid to the late game. The Navaria can be a menace, clears lanes really fast, and I think is a great counter. Maybe not counter, but a great sustain to be able to go against the Lilia.
Yeah, it's always on the range, and Lilia can basically hit and yeah, and have a lot of burst damage to clear the lane fast. But actually, if Lilia knows what to do, she can maybe tank second skill of Navaria, don't let the clear lane and kind of pressure. I mean, we'll see. It depends on the personal skill, 1 versus 1 matchup.
True. The 1v1 in the mid is something I think we're gonna have to watch out for. The question I have is RCC, are they gonna, like, I know it's kind of like a tank jungle, but are we gonna be seeing the Paquito in the jungle, or are we gonna be seeing the Akai in the jungle?
Yeah, again, like, or we're gonna see Akai roam, and
exactly.
And jungle is not yet picked. Yeah, that's just, but you know, like, a lot of times I saw this strategy being used, but it's actually not that effective. I mean, it gives you some advantage in the draft, but it's always comes down to execution. I mean, you can win draft 10 out of 10, and it will not result the win in the game, because in the game win results your execution, like how efficient are you, how you use your time effectively, how you hit your skills, how you're not doing mistakes. So this all good and stuff, but like don't tell much.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. I like the carry pickup from the side of Nightmare. Definitely a marksman that excels at taking out a little bit of the tankier heroes. So that actually might be a key indicator that we might see the Kai maybe going for more of the roam instead of the jungle. But we'll see. I mean, again, carries can go either way. They are going to be picking up. Yeah, so the Kai is probably going to be at the jungle aspect here. Paquito, EXP, Kaja, Roam, Bruno. So I like it. I like it. Again, it's going to come down to, like what you said, execution, the skill behind the players and these heroes. Can they execute it correctly?
But I really like Akai and Kaja combo because it always gives you this like first strike advantage. You always can like threat the Divine Judgment and maybe kill somebody, and then you threat the heavy spin and maybe kill somebody, and you potentially can start a fight with like 2 kills. Oh, but the Barat's pick is solid here. You can dodge the ultimate of Akai.
I was about to say that, right? Like Akai, he really exceeds at being able to secure those neutral objectives, being able to go in there and you know, push out the other jungle and be able to hit that retry. But a Barrett's there is gonna be able to use that Daytona's welcome to then maybe even counter the guy. So I think it's gonna be a spicy battle over neutral objectives like turtles and lords.
Yeah, that's for sure. And then, yeah, turrets. And then maybe in the jungle as well, trying to invade something. But yeah, I would love to see Paquito actually jungle. But I know the castle is going to build probably the damage build, no tanky items, maybe one. And trying to play as assassin.
Kill they are. I'm just going to keep going here. A little bit of a double kill action for the side of Nightmare. The heavy spin did excel, but 2 of them from the side of RCC fall.